Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Welcome back to the show. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. No matter who you are, where you be, I want to say to you, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is episode 928 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Mike, just 72 short episodes away from the big 1,000. Expecting that coming up this summer, and a lot more, Mike, as we are hitting our 5-year anniversary and episode 1,000 of the show. A lot of big stuff coming up this year, but I got to be honest, we can't get ready to celebrate that because there's still so much going on with our Pittsburgh Steelers in this off season. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see you today. Mike, how are you, man?
I am living the dream, my friend. We get to talk some Steelers. We could talk the draft. What more can a guy ask for?
Well, I see that you don't have any green on, so I might have to come down to your studio and pinch you. I don't know
why do you think I wasn't wearing any green there, big boy?
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. To all you Irish people, non-Irish people, leprechauns alike, everybody, happy day to you. This is St. Patty's Day here on the Two Dum Yinzers. Everybody, again, this is episode 928. Hard to believe, Mike, that it's 928 shows into this thing, and here we are. We're still kicking.
Yeah, who would have thought we would have made it this far? I sure as hell didn't.
Yeah, it's been a good ride. Let me say what's up to everybody on the board this morning. I do want to say good morning, good afternoon to John. What's up, dude? Always great seeing dude on the terrible board. He says, happy St. Patrick's Day, fellas. Great seeing you, John. Dude, I'm sorry. Also, I do want to say what's up to Rhett. Rhett says hi. Rhett says, do you know how to sing? I don't know if that's any reference to my wonderful, beautiful display coming into the show, but no, I don't know how to sing, Rhett. Thank you for asking, though, and welcome to the terrible board. Glad to see you here today as well. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the show. A lot of things to get into, Mike. A couple things before we do get started. Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday, they lose to the Twins 5-1. You know what? A loss, but it only drops them to 16-8 overall. In the Grapefruit League, Mike, with only about a handful of games left, about 7 games left before the season does start off for the Buccos. They'll be back at it today in less than an hour as they play the Astros at 1:05.
You know what? they're playing all right. The guys are still playing good. That you want to play good, and Skeens pitched well in the is pitching well in the World Baseball Classic. So the Buccos might be hitting regular season here on a high note, man. Get off to a good start. Stack those wins early.
One thing I do have to say, Mike, a little bit, the Pirates, of course, they're coming up with this Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. Mike, I don't know if you realize how big that game was the other night against the Dominican Republic. Yes, Paul Skeens did have a great day, but there was two other Yinzers, Mike, that did pitch very well for Team USA to help secure that win. Mason Miller, of course, from Bethel Park, also, and David Bednar from Mars, Pennsylvania, Mike. Three, so adding him and them two and Paul Skeens, 3 Yinzers combined to pitch down that, and more guys, but those 3 for sure pitched down that Dominican Republic team and led them to victory as they head to the championship game for the 3rd time in a row, I think it is. Nonetheless, Mike, that's a lot of Yinzers. And Paul Skeens says, you know what, I love being a Yinzer. He says these people were gritty here. I love it. I'm glad to be part of it. And again, as Pittsburgh proud we are, three Yinzers contribute heavily to the big win for Team USA.
Well done. Hey, man. Who would have thought, Bednar would have got his stuff back? It's nice to see.
It's like Stella getting her groove back.
Exactly.
Also, I do want to say this, Mike, the Pittsburgh Penguins get a big win over the Denver Broncos. The Colorado Avalanche, 7-2 was the final score. I swore it was a football score when I seen them. Like the Penguins improved their record to 34, 18, and 15 overall. They'll be back at it tomorrow. They're heading back down to Carolina. They just left there, it feels like, heading back down to play the Hurricanes. That game's tomorrow at 7.
Yeah, Geno Malkin is out of hockey jail, and he just
Two goals in the first period.
Dude, he took all of his frustration out on them. Crosby looking down like a proud mother. It was a good night for the Pens.
And then finally, Mike, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the other football team here in town, they will be taking on Steel City today at 7 o'clock in the U.S. Open Cup first round for them. Good luck to the Hounds. They've been carrying the load the past couple of years, so I hope they continue that while the other teams continue to improve. Good luck to the Hounds. Good luck to the Buccos against the Stros today, and again, the Penguins and the Hurricanes. That's tomorrow night. Again, happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. Welcome back to the show. We officially made the turnover. We went from the free agent frenzy last week, which is absolutely insane. I got to be honest with you. And then we're heading, Mike, into the draft full speed ahead, just 37 days from right now. The NFL draft will be right here in Pittsburgh. And as the days get closer, Mike, it just gets a little bit more unbelievable for me every time, because I say 37 days and I'm like, shit. And then tomorrow it'll be 36. And before you know it, it'll be in the 20s. And before you know it, it'll be in the teens. And before you know it, we're going to realize we have no idea what we're doing. And but we're going to get down there anyway. It's going to be a blast. We can't wait to see everybody down at the draft. It's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. It's going to be a blast. Just 37 Carnell Lake days away, Mike.
Oh, a nice pool right there. Carnell Lake, underrated.
Definitely underrated, my man. One of the best to do it, certainly here in the Berg. Let me jump on the board, but we have some special things today for St. Patrick's Day. We do, I swear to you, I promised you, and you know what? We're not going to let you down. St. Patrick's Day special. Welcome to the show. This is the two Dum Yinzers St. Patrick's Day special, everybody. And Mike, it is also Tuesday, which can only mean one thing.
Madam, I request that you immediately send me pictures detailing your beautiful bosom in support of the national holiday known as Titty Tuesday.
Or Taco Tuesday, whatever you want to do. I prefer Titty Tuesday, but there you go, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you be. I want to say good afternoon to Tortilla. Would be good morning for him out in Sacramento. Thank you so much, Tortilla. On the super chat, Tortilla says this $5. I swear, yesterday I saw 2 different podcasts, and they also had both of them had crash outs on them. Like, so he says, am I the problem? Probably, Tortilla, but you know what? I wouldn't hold it against you. I like it. Again, it's only good for the show. It can only help.
Yeah, it's I want to take some personal accountability there, Tortilla.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Cody, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Cody on the terrible board. He says draft Ty Simpson. I got a little to talk about today, Mike, because I officially sat down and started watching my Ty Simpson tape last night, and I do have an opinion on that. We'll get to that shortly. Tortilla, he says, oh shit, is RB on today? Good question. Also, I do want to say to Cody as well. He says Tortilla is the problem. Tortilla says Cody is right. I think that everybody might be correct, but no, we love you, Tortilla. We wouldn't have it any other way. I'm going to be honest, guys. No time to mess around. No time to mess around. Like stop trying to hold me up. I'm trying to do this and make things happen on St. Patrick's Day. Before we do move any further, Mike, I don't see any green in your background, so you're gonna be getting the pinch day. You better hope Tater Tart don't show up.
I kind of hope Tater Tart does show up.
I wish he would. Guys, without further ado, I want to say this. We did add to the team about a month ago. We added a couple gentlemen. They've been working very hard. I mean, very hard. Mike, it's hard to even keep up with these guys. I'm serious. The stuff they know, the knowledge they have, and the things that they're going to talk about, I cannot wait, Mike, as we are heading into the draft season, full speed ahead with just 37 days left to go. Mike, let's not wait any longer.
Let's not.
Without further ado, Mike, hold on. RB, everybody. Welcome, RB. Yeah, there he is, everybody. My man.
Hey, what up, guys?
What's up, brother? Great seeing you, RB. Great to have you on the show. I couldn't wait. I got to be honest with you.
Great to be here.
Mike, I'm saying I can't wait till RB comes on. It is the perfect time, RB, because it's draft time. My friend, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great outside of the snow.
Wasn't it just 70, RB, like 24 hours ago?
It was literally like 2 days ago. It was like 71. I start priming the hot tub. I start getting everything ready to get into summer here. And then I come home from work last night. I walk out of the parking lot. I'm like, what the hell is this?
It was insane. It was the same with me, man. One moment there was nothing, and the next moment it was 2 inches of snow on the ground. I couldn't believe it. Welcome, RB. Everybody, you know RB on the board. Do you have anything for him throughout the duration? Don't be afraid to talk, ask, comment, all that kind of stuff on the board. RB is available for everybody today, guys, and a lot more moving forward. So again, so much knowledge about the draft. Him and his partner Chop. Chop couldn't make it today, unfortunately, but I gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna pass the mic real quick to say his hellos, but I do have some questions where we're gonna get started. Mike, go ahead.
What up, RB? Finally, like someone other than me who knows anything about the draft.
That's true.
Oh God, talking to Ryan to the draft is like me trying to teach it.
I'm oddly retarded.
Yeah, I was going to say trying to teach Derpy how to bathe. So it's nice to have someone else on here who knows the draft, and yeah, it's I can't wait to get into it.
This is where my autism kicks in. Like the draft, I can just sit here, just watch stuff on draft film, everything. Like the preseason hits, I watched the third and fourth round more than anything, or the third and fourth quarters more than anything. Like those are my kind of guys to watch.
And that's awesome because, again, Mike, a lot of people don't do that. So when it's time to get your insight and it's time to look for the people that know, RB's the kind of guy that knows these things, you know?
And from like some of the conversation we had off air too, he, you know, RB, like you're saying, like you love trying to find those diamonds in the rough, like outside of the, like the top, you know, everyone could probably tell you like who the like top 50 guys are in the draft. It's just like once you get down past guys that are going to be drafted in the third round, it becomes like a who's who of who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, like I was really, really high on Rick Woolen like a year and a half before his draft class. Because I just watched him like, wow, this guy reminds me of Ike Taylor. Talking about him. I only came upon Rick Woolen because I was watching wide receiver film and I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. But I noticed this guy he was a higher kind of against Rick Woolen and he was struggling bad. And I'm like, who is this? Fast, he's strong, he breaks on the ball, he's a solid tackler. I never heard of him. And I went back and looked and just seen, oh, he just moved the corner this year. He was a wide receiver. I'm like, well, Ike was like a halfback until his senior year. So I kind of jumped on and just started watching a lot of Reek. And I'm like, somebody's going to draft this guy. And then I start noticing mock drafts at around 4 or 5. I'm like, somebody's going to take this kid at like 2. And everybody was telling, oh, your kid could slip into the end of the first, middle of the second. They're like, no, no. Well, that's where he ended up going. Seattle took him mid-second.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, because it came out at, like, that was a little bit of a shocker when that got picked, and then like his rookie year, he turned out to be one of the better corners from that draft class.
Yeah, and you just got to figure too. There's a guy who only played cornerback 1 year. It's only going to get better as he gets better coaching.
Absolutely. Let me jump back on the board here real quick for just one moment, if you don't mind. I'm going to go to Mark Malone. I'm going to say good afternoon, good morning, Mark, whatever it is over in the Midwest for you. He says, two Dum Yinzers, the reports are the Steelers are very high on Carson Beck. I are the tagger, motherfuckers. I are the tagger. Also, I do want to say, how you doing? To Tyrone, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Tyrone on the terrible board. He says that JPJ is the GOAT, and I will always disagree because I say that RB and Tortilla and Tyrone and everybody else that does help out in every which way for this show. You are the MVP, guys. You are the GOATs. I do want to say, everybody, be sure to welcome RB. He is in the house. Today we're going to talk some draft. Also, Tyrone says this Waddle to Denver looks like JPJ will be following another wide receiver. Guys, a lot to get into today. Yes, we do have some rumors. We have some scoop. But you know what? Most importantly, I have expertise today on the screen, and that is what I'm mostly focused on because we are heading into the draft, guys, and there's a lot that goes into this process. There's it seems like a million kids coming out of school trying to get a job in the NFL. And this is a process, and this is where teams improve. This is where teams hope to fill holes that they certainly need help. And today we are going to start the process, guys, as the draft again is just 37 days away. Let me jump down to RB, and I have a couple questions for you, RB. To me, it seems as of right now, and I could be way off. It seems as of right now that it is right now. If nothing changed between now and 37 days from now, that the left guard position would be a very high priority in this draft, just because it's the only thing they really haven't touched. Yes, we need receiver help, but we did touch the receivers in free agency. Yes, we need this help, but we did touch a lot of things. However, that left guard position still sits vacant. Am I anywhere close to the bullseye on this target? Because I'm really feeling like left guard could easily be the first pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think so. As long as nothing changes, like you said, from now on, it's either going to be tackle or guard. Unless something drastically happens and somebody, like, for whatever reason, lowered or
right,
Deke would fall really down the board. But at this, it's most common sense. It's going to be left tackle or left guard to me.
That's how I'm seeing it now. Like what Olivia Vega, Ione, and what
and I'm hearing
Pregnon, or the Emmanuel Pregnon, or what are the two top ones right now for guard if you want to go first round.
Yeah, and then there's the tackle, I can't remember his name, the tackle from Alabama. Everybody's projecting him to be a guard, and that's what I see. Even though he has the height, he plays more like a guard with his attacking and his downhill and his run blocking.
Proctor.
Yes,
yeah. For like 6'7", 366. I don't know how many people are going to try and put him out there at left tackle.
Let me jump on this question real quick, just to RB.
On the guard.
Let me grab this for RB real quick. This is Tortillas asking this. Do we still have a chance of that Cowboys guard who we got the false report, the reports on? I heard high praises about him, is what Tortillas asking on the board, RB.
I kind of got a little inside information on that. There's legalities involved now because the announcing of the signing before he was technically a unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
So some do something like that, or they're gonna have to give up comp pick.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah. So the league would because he was unrestricted or restricted free agent.
Restricted, yeah. So Dallas could have matched anything that they tendered him. Eventually, he still was in his tendering period when the contract was agreed upon.
Okay, yeah. So the Steelers would have to give up a pick, or pick or a fine, or both.
Probably both. They'd probably lose a pick and catch a. So I would see that being something that's more after the draft, but it's still in play.
All right, now that's a good question, Tortilla. Again, everybody knows RB, guys. If you have any questions, comments, anything for RB, do throw it up on the board. Mike, what do you got? I was asking him about that first round pick, and again, I'm seeing if we get that guy from Penn State, we might be set for quite some time as far as building the foundation. That's offensive line, the thing that they started years back with the Broderick Jones pick, Mike. So at left guard, I think we all could agree that's a huge need. Anything? Well, what do you got for RB next, man?
If they don't go O-line in round one, well, let's say they don't go round one. Second round, I'm hearing a lot of chatter about the guy from Texas A&M, Bizontis.
Yeah.
Is he a possibility in the second round, or do you think he would fall maybe even to the third round?
With such a high quality position, if he's there and you didn't go that the first round, I say you do it then. Because you never know who's going to try to move up at that point. Because once you get out of the first round, the draft becomes Wild West. Anybody sees somebody on the board, they're going to be willing to move up and go. And that's where I don't like all these people. Well, you can't take this guy here. You can't take that there. Because these people don't look at it as a team. Like, as us Steeler fans, we probably have a higher priority on this than most people do. So a team that looks at a guy at like a third round grade, we could see a second round grade on him just because of need or fit or anything. Like first round, I think you got to value the guy at how the internet community and webs and reporters, whoever else, like you got to value a person as what he's going to bring to you now.
Yeah, like how they're going to fit into the scheme.
Yeah.
To what degree?
I think that's the problem with a lot of the stuff now. Like the value of the scheme. Like we had like 8 drafts in a row where we drafted really good talents, but they weren't fits anywhere. Like DeMarvin Leal was a really good talent. He didn't fit a 34 D. Just
right.
It was mind-boggling.
I was always wondering. I was always curious about Leal if that was the case, but apparently it is. What else do you see on the team as far as, I mean, obviously we need to thicken the wide receiver room. Obviously we need the left side of this line. Outside of those two positions, RB, what's the next immediate need? In a sense, everybody knows we need a quarterback. Everybody knows we need linebackers on the inside, especially. What are you thinking could be a heavy target for Pittsburgh once you do get up beyond the left-hand side of the line and probably a little bit of depth at wide receiver? What's needed after that?
A lot of people aren't going to like this, but I think you got to go into the trenches again. Defensive line's getting a look. Hayward's obviously really long in the tooth.
Right.
Black didn't impress me much last year. I like the prospects.
Right.
I like the size a lot for somebody that size. And I'm not all that high on the depth in general. Why Loudermilk stayed around all them years made no sense to me. Why Dean Lowry was even on the roster last year made zero sense to me.
Right.
So I think you got to go defensive line. I personally, for 10 years, have said this 34 defense doesn't work without a nose tackle. You need a real nose tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody loves this guy we just signed. And I think he's great. He's a good run stopper. He has a high motor. You're not anchoring a nose tackle at 34 defense. He don't got enough ass. They're going to blow him off the line with that
Right.
Center double team. You need to get somebody in there at least 3.
Dante Corleone. Like
you don't get me started about Corleone. 3 years ago, he was the number 1 graded run football. He had the most tackles for loss, not counting sacks, just pure tackles for loss. And he played like 45% of the snaps in the second place guy did. He only played 2 downs in Cincinnati.
Yeah, because I was looking at him now, like his snap counts are really low compared to a lot of other D linemen. And, he is one of the, like you said, one of the better rated run stoppers. And like, he's just one of those guys. He fits the Steeler, like you're saying, of a traditional run stuffing 3-4, if that's what they want to get back into. Like someone that low to the ground. I like my nose guards. If they want to play a traditional nose, I want them short.
You've got to stay underneath them
going right away.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's like some other guys. Like people are going to fall in love with Zaven Harris because he's 6'8", 330, but that's too damn tall. You
Well,
know,
that's like the Florida State kid, Jackson. Everybody
Yep.
loves Jackson. He's 6'6". I guess he's not in the division anymore, but a guy like Linderbaum would have got right up underneath him and just
Yeah.
pushed him off to the side.
Yeah, he's not going to play. You know, even like someone like who I like their body type, Dominique Orange. For me, he's more of he's
Yeah,
not a
Orange is
nose.
more of everything. He's more like a Tomlinson kind of guy. He's going to give you a little pass rush. He's going to give you a little anchor. Like the 34 defense, people don't understand is for the last 10 years, everybody's been giving the middle linebackers a lot of crap. There ain't much when you got a guard in the center in your lap right off the snap.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Queen. I don't care if you're Peyton Wilson, the dude they brought in from Jacksonville, Jack. It didn't matter who they brought in. These guys aren't built today to take on guards and centers.
No,
And
because
then when
they're all built to play the pass mostly anywhere.
Yeah,
Nobody looks like
And then
LaVon
you
Kirkland anymore out there.
No. But these guys need protection, and you need a guy with some ass in the middle who's going to eat that guard and center up and just hold his ground, which that's what infuriated me about the scheme was. You would see these guys, they'd put at nose tackle, and they're out there ripping and swimming and trying to spin move. I was like, just grab a hold of the ground, let these guys do the clean work.
Yeah, that's why like I like Keanu Benton, but he's not a traditional nose. He's more of a speed guy. He's not a power guy. And he's playing out of position. I think there's a spot on the team for him in a rotation, but they definitely, if they, like McCarthy says, they want to run 3-4, they gotta get someone in this draft that can be there. The way Casey Hampton was there, who cares if they're only playing rundowns? You know, get them in there and let them cause havoc up front.
Oh, that's one of my biggest headaches is when I evaluate guys and then I send them to people. We start talking and somebody goes, "Oh, well, yeah, he plays more like you used to play. You can't play like anymore." Says who? Why can't you play like that anymore? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Dick LeBeau, Hall of Fame coach. I know there's a lot of people that don't really like LeBeau, but that 34 defense was schemed when he did this to stop similar offenses to what are being run today. Short passing game, quick hitters. That's designed to do that. Nothing else has really changed. You're still playing football. You got to tackle the football and you got to keep guys free to get to the football on defense.
Yeah.
That's what that was all designed to do. I don't see why now, because you're a little too big or you don't rush the passer. You don't need 7 guys to rush the passer, especially when you're paying 2 guys $200 some million a piece to get the rush the passer on the outside.
Yeah, like the 3-4 in the zone blitz aspect of it too is like what to stop Cincinnati, to stop Ken Anderson and who went out? George Seifert, not George Seifert, Bill Walsh before he went out to San Francisco, where it became the West Coast offense, but it started in Cincinnati. And we were and Dick LeBeau designed that defense to do it. And what do you see now? A lot of offense still run that West Coast scheme, so it can still be used. You just got to have the right players in the right schemes to run it.
All right, let me jump in real quick. I just want to ask you, RB, what do you know on defensive coordinator Patrick Graham? Do you have any idea of how the defense is going to look? We do have a new personnel, obviously, in the secondary. I don't know much about Coach Graham. I know that he was with the Raiders. I know, the topical information. Anything about Coach Graham and what kind of what we could look forward to on this defense, RB?
Coach Graham is an absolute football nerd.
Okay, we love
and
that.
when I say football nerd is, I've read stories where this guy's he made his own playbooks from like the top 15 historic defenses ever. He sat down, watched them, took plays out of each one of these, and he says, I will take this from depending on my matchups. Like, this isn't a guy like we just got 3 all game. We don't care what you do. This is what we do. We're going to be. This is a guy who constantly looks. He's going to build a defense.
I love to hear that. It gave me goosebumps, and I don't even know why. I'm just sitting here listening. I'm thinking that's just so encouraging.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, we just kind of been running in place, and it seems like anything outside of what we've been doing for the past decade is going to give me goosebumps at this point, because it's like, all right, it's time to get back to playing football.
Yeah, and what's funny is we talk about
too, like.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Everybody talks about how we need to improve his defense. We have holes here. I agree, there are some things. This is by far and away not even close the most talented defense he's ever had roster-wise, too. That's the bad thing is.
Good, Mike.
I was going to say, too, and like Graham, if I remember correctly, like articles I was reading when he was hired, he said in the past he is not afraid to take a scheme like RB was saying from somewhere else and bring it in here. If he used it in the past, like we may have different personnel or different base sets. Like if it works, I'm gonna try and make it work with the guys that I have. But if it doesn't work, I'm not gonna keep running it back out there. He seems quick to move on from something that doesn't work instead of being stubborn and running with it.
He's also very, very much a player's coach in a sense, not so much as like Tomlin sense of go do what you want as long as you perform. I don't care. Hey, coach, I'm seeing this, this, and this. He's like, okay, well, he'll communicate with them guys and then try to fix what he's calling bench. That's my biggest thing with this coaching staff all around. I think you're going to see is actual evolution of scheme and adjustments. The where before you wouldn't see adjustments. They'd say, oh, we made a second half adjustment. Yeah, well, you made one adjustment for the entire half.
Right.
That was it. You went from cover.
Meanwhile, football's a game of chess. I mean, they do something, you make a revisement, then they revise off of that, and it should go throughout the course of a whole game, opposed to, as you said, making that change after halftime. It's going over to offense. The coordinator coming over right off the top, his name is difficult. I'm not even going to try it. You might be able to do it for me, RB. But what do you know anything about his about what we're going to see with this offense, especially being an offensive-minded head coach, of course, with Mike McCarthy? What are you expecting to see with this offense this year, and how's that going to differ from last year? And again, it's pretty tough because for most part, people don't know what's going to go on at quarterback. People have their reservations, but just from what we know, RB, what direction do you see this offense go, and how's it going to be different moving forward?
I think you're going to see a complete 180 compared to what we have seen. Angelico and them guys in Minnesota seem to love to work the middle. And I think that's going to be the primary thing right off the bat, especially when you have Pitt and Metcalf in there. And you're big sets out there. If they're going to work the middle of the field with Pittman, Metcalf, Washington, Muth, you're not going to be able to roll these guys like basketballs down the middle or the field. Inside stuff, maybe a lot of like clear out routes. Like you'll get a guy come through first, clear the coverage, and then you'll get a primary receiver come behind him, and then you get a lead blocker out in front. Like essentially a long hand McCarthy stuff is he does run the ball a lot. In the passing game, he likes to use clear out. So you basically get a guy in front, the lead, then you get the ball to the guy trailing, and then you basically just like an option.
All right. Yeah, Mike, good.
Oh, no. I was going to agree. That sounds like it kind of sounds like what they were trying to do last year, but failed to do, because even watching what St. Louis, man, they ran a lot of big sets too. And Stafford, let the league up on those routes.
Yeah. And honestly, what you watched last year in St. Louis, and this is what baffles me, that St. was the R.D. Smith scheme from 4 years ago. The exact same thing.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin wanted no part of putting the ball at risk at all.
Right.
Like ever since Ben blew up his elbow, that was like the big thing for Tomlin those last 8 years was don't turn the ball over. When we lived and died with a quarterback who may have turned the ball over, but the defense was going to get it back for you.
Well, even before them 8 years, I've heard from a few people that he was never really happy with the whole Ben wave the sideline off. I'm doing things now. And he's just never been a fan of putting it's old school football. I mean, I'll give him some credit. He went out doing what he wanted to do. He stuck to his guns, and you got to kind of admire that. It wasn't going to work anymore.
It became, like Ryan and I talk about all the time, it becomes stale. And you see that a lot, especially like in hockey, it becomes stale. And once it becomes stale, everyone kind of like tunes you out.
Yeah. And nobody takes you serious either because they know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
A couple questions. As of the past 24 hours, RB, I don't know, is this a sign that maybe we shouldn't, as Steeler fans, shouldn't be holding our breath maybe to dip any more into the free agency pool to address the wide receiver position? Because over the past 24 hours, we had Christian Kirk we're hearing the news on him going to San Francisco. And then today you brought us the news that Jalen Waddle is heading to Denver. Are these telltale signs? Are these things that we could look at and say, okay, we're probably going to be trying to get that a nice wide receiver, pretty early in the draft, and we shouldn't be holding our breath on any of these free agents right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think that you're going to see a receiver. Maybe I don't think unless somebody falls. If somebody falls, you can't tell what they're going to do. But
Right.
if the board plays out like people are saying they're going to, I don't see receiver till maybe late 3rd round, maybe.
Okay. And at that point, there's still names. Obviously, I hear all the names that you guys love, and I'm learning these people. Is there anybody that you could see falling to that round that you would be thrilled to have at that particular point of the draft, RB?
If we could get Trey Lance in the 3, and I know that's projected high compared to what most of these mock draft sites are telling people, Trey Lance got a little bit of everything. He's got size, he's got speed, he's got all right routes. Like for a bigger guy, he runs good routes. He has good hands, good explosion, good jumping. He just an all-around good player. And he didn't receive the best kind of coaching in North Dakota State either. So there's going to be room to grow there. Trey Lance is a guy that I really, really like in the 3rd round.
That's like Trey Lance.
RB is already fitting in with Ryan perfectly. Isn't it Bryce Lance?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
I was going to say, boy, that's
I was going to let it go for a while. I was like, "Oh, you two are kindred spirits." That was great.
I tell you what, I caught it. I was like, isn't it the quarterback? Anyway, it's totally fine, RB.
Yeah.
Hey, let's jump on the board, though. I am seeing some things that you may be able to get to on the board today. Let's start way back here to Ty. Well, first Ty says this. He says left guard is most needed right now. I think that RB did agree on that. Tortilla says, I really hope we don't go into the draft without at least signing a cheap left guard. Tyrone follows that up by saying, agree, we need to sign a backup. Another Tortilla says this. Do we still have a chance? Okay, we did get that guard from the Cowboys. I'm sorry. Let me grab Mark Malone, and then I'll let you kind of chime in on anything that we might have read so far. Mark Malone says nobody runs a traditional 3-4 anymore, though, really, including us. I do like Curly Own, though. Anything in those comments, RB?
Yeah, Mark Malone's right. Nobody really does run a real 34 either, and that's why you see a lot of people that run the 34 struggle. The 34 is designed to get your linebackers in free space. Well, you ain't going to get linebackers in some free space if you don't got some meat up front.
Right.
So and honestly, I'm kind of expecting, I don't know why, I just got this odd feeling that you're going to see a fire zone at some point this year. If it's to start the year or finish the year, Mike McCarthy has run fire zone in Green Bay. I believe Horton was up there for a while, and what was the other guy's name? The guy before LeBeau here.
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank.
Was it Dom Capers or Jim?
Yeah,
Haslett?
Capers was, and Haslett was up there as well. I forgot Haslett was up there. So McCarthy has run the fire zone before, and he said it's the biggest headache defense to have to scheme against.
Like, when's the last time you've seen the Steelers run like a traditional like Dick LeBeau zone blitz? Dropping like linemen back in the coverage, sending backers, safeties from weird spots and angles. Like you barely see it.
Since LeBeau, but I've seen Butler give interviews at places, and Butler said he was told absolutely no, you're not doing it. But he wanted to.
Yeah. Because if they can get back to something like that, because that is one of the most confusing thing for quarterbacks. And that was in an era when
especially these guys today.
Yeah, and when quarterbacks were, more in tune with the game and being trained from high school to college to pros to get better as they go, towards now, like we always say, like they're trained and coached just to get done through high school, then just to get through college and then send you on your way and figure it out when you get to the pros. That today would confuse a shit ton of quarterbacks.
Oh, these kids would be in trouble today with the fire zone defense. I mean, these kids have the system designed around them. The system is 100. And as you go out here, here's your first 3 reads. I mean, look at God would tell him going onto the field. Here's this call. You here, let go. Like he would have to tell him his like route tree on it or his progressions on the way to the play.
Jeez, let me jump back on the board here. Cody says, go get one of them. He says, get one of those 500-pounders. Mark Malone follows that up by saying, when we play a base, AKA 3-4, it's more like a 5-3. Nose tackle doesn't 2-gap. Outside linebackers don't drop, etc. Tyrone says this. I'm hoping McCarthy and Graham change the scheme here. Tortilla follows that up by saying this: McCarthy is a nerd too. He was still scouting players even when he had no head coaching job. Let me grab End of Days as well, and then I'll pass it back to you, RB. End of Days says this: Steelers need to trade up and take Drew Aller. Again, a lot of the quarterback situations certainly unknown moving forward. Again, people have their guesses, people have hear the rumors, but again, Drew Aller and a couple of these other questions: Mike McCarthy being a nerd, and also the defense comment by Mark Malone. RB, anything out of that?
McCarthy being a nerd, yeah, there's a lot on that too. I know he hasn't spoke on it publicly yet, but in that time that he was off, he was doing a lot of work with that John Gruden Fired Football Coaches of America Association or whatever it is. He spent a lot of time in the Gruden building studying film and concept and all that stuff.
Like his playbook's still in use in Dallas too. So like what a lot of people were like pushing back against like him saying, "Oh, the game's passed him by." Like it's they still run just about the same offense in Dallas when he was there, and look what Dak's doing with CD and Pickens, and they're just lighting it up down there.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I didn't get that whole well, we're staying in the past thing. I think because of his age.
Yeah.
McCarthy has always revolutionized this offense. Bay. It wasn't the same offense the entire time. He changed things from year to year. I mean, if you look back, McCarthy took a wide receiver and moved him to halfback there. He was one of the first guys to do that. That was before Patterson got moved from wide receiver to halfback and guys start using different things. He took that Montgomery kid and put him back there with some injuries and made him a third down back, and I had a good season out of that.
Now, do you think McCarthy's offense will be able to get anything out of Johnson?
Yes and no. McCarthy doesn't stick to just one kind of blocking scheme. He will run a lot of power, and he will run some inside zone. And I think Johnson could do a little something on inside zone. But when it comes just to power runs, Johnson was primarily a zone runner. It was all vision, cut, go. If you're running power gap runs, he's almost useless.
Yeah, that's why I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt last year because he's his own run scheme. Just because his 40 time in the 10-yard split scared me because he looked really really slow. But in his game film in college, he looked fast, like a very quick processor. Then all of last year, man, everything looked slow for him. So maybe a year in the system, be ready to go. But it was scary. Watching him try and play.
Yeah, see, a lot of people thought because of his size that he's a power back. He's not a power back. He's a vision guy, and when he gets moving downhill, you do get these small, but he's not a power back.
Right. We know you got too much more time, but I got a couple more questions for you regarding the quarterback position. Now, this has certainly came up over the past 27 hours. I didn't hear much about it prior to that, RB, but as I'm seeing on the board, it's kind of reflecting some of the rumors that I'm hearing in real actual life. Right here, Mark Malone says they may well have Beck rated number one, and then Tyrone says Beck is trash. Whether you like Beck, whether you dislike Beck, whether you think his eyes are hilarious looking, what is this latest momentum that's being picked up by Beck with just 37 days left to till the draft, RB?
If I had to guess, I think Beck has an agent floating favors. That he's starting to gain some team. I don't think Beck's a terrible prospect. Right. I don't think he's an NFL starter by any means. Right. I think he could be a good backup. But yeah, it's about that time of the season where you'll see some guys that you don't understand catch some hype. An agent's floating a couple bucks around, or he's floating some favors around, or some information around the people to get his guy hyped up.
Will Levis is a prime example of that. Like he came out of nowhere that draft and just rising up the boards. And I always hate those quarterbacks that come out of nowhere. Like the year that Trubisky went first overall. I'm like, that came out of nowhere. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like even watching Mahomes back in the day, watching him at Texas Tech, Texas Tech light it up. Like you would take a flyer on that guy, and here comes Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina, like a month before the draft. It was all of a sudden being talked as the guy. And this time of the year, man, you got to sift through a lot of smoke.
Oh, I was gonna say that's the other thing. Even if it's not an agent doing it, it could be teams out there just setting out smoke somewhere to get somebody off their target.
Yep.
Maybe somebody really, really likes Aller, but screened somebody into jumping up and taking Beck before him.
Right. Great insight. One more question before we do let you go, RB. Is all this leaning to, is everything kind of shaping the way that things are playing out with what's left in free agency, what we know, what we have, what's on our roster already? Is this already shaping up to welcome Aaron Rodgers back? Do you think, in other words, are we rolling with Aaron Rodgers this year?
You just want me to go?
Yeah.
Word that an Aaron Rodgers deal is already done and just sitting around. It's just not being turned in. It's already been agreed to, signed, sealed, and it's just
all about the
just waiting for the old postal carrier to drop it off.
Fascination is I don't know if it's Aaron likes to play games or the team thinks they're being sneaky, but from what I understand, they're already done, signed, and they're just not like making it official.
See, now this was what I was hearing too, and we kind of brought it up loosely the other day, and it seems to me that it could be a little bit of both. It seems like Aaron does like to play his games, and it also seems like the Steelers do like to, camouflage a lot of things, certainly for quite some time now. I was just kind of curious.
I don't think Aaron's going to say no to any.
Absolutely.
No.
And I knew we would get the most straight up answer from you, RB. RB, everybody, he's going to be he's the head of everything that we're doing with our draft work here. He'll be included more and more as we get closer and closer, and then beyond the draft, he'll certainly be around. So we cannot wait to work more with RB. So much information. I do want to just let me jump in here real quick. I do want to say hey to Jen. Jen, here's RB. If you want to say anything to him before he takes off, Just Learning. I want to say what's up to Just Learning as well. And today's Tyrone, Mark Malone, everybody, Tortilla, guys, RB, Somber on the board as well. Guys, Somber, RB, we'll be back. We cannot wait to talk to you more, RB. We thank you so much. Again, the endless knowledge is greatly appreciated. You are a fine, wonderful piece to the puzzle here. That is the Dum Yinzers show. We appreciate you with everything. Mike, anything to RB before he takes off?
No, man, it was good to talk the draft besides or choose someone besides Ryan. So,
I'm jumping in this. I can't wait. I can't wait to learn. Again, I couldn't wait to hear some of the things RB says, and I have many more questions. So you'll be seeing them shortly. Everybody, real quick before we let you go, RB. Anything before we go?
I know, but I just been recently watching film on Toledo running back Chip. I think everybody should go check out Chip Tatum. Big kid, 5'11", 235. He plays at Toledo. He originally was at Arizona State, went to Ohio State. When he went to Ohio State, they moved in the middle line, so physical, but it was almost laughable if you go back and watch his Toledo film. These guys do not want to tackle him. They actively step out of his way when he hits the second level. But so big, he's so fast, and his vision is almost like Le'Veon Bell, like to me. He doesn't have that patience, like to bounce around behind the line, vision to catch the opening in the line and then hit it. And once he gets through that first wave, it's almost comical watching people just actively avoid getting in his way. They're like, no.
You know what? Does this play into? And again, I know this is a guy that you're just saying check out, but some of the with the Pittmans and the DKs and the Washingtons and Muth. I mean, and of course the new running back. There is a lot of physicality, and a lot of the speculation is this is going to be the identity of this team. And I think accomplishing an identity is a big thing for the Steelers at this point. Certainly with a new coaching staff, new players coming in, and we're trying to turn this thing around. Is the big physical, tough Steelers the new identity of this Pittsburgh team?
And I love it. We've been lacking it for 12 years. And nasty again. It's time to get big. It's, you know what? We might lose on the scoreboard, but we're going to beat you up on this field, and you're going to know who you played. And then if you want to, we'll meet you in the parking lot after the field. I miss that
That's
kind of
right.
shit. I mean, I remember Ike Taylor
I do
saying they
too.
would tell guys, "Hey, you're beating us right here. Wait till you get out into that bus. Wait till we get to the
Yes.
bus. We'll see you out there."
Porter, running onto the Ravens bus,
Yeah, Porter
trying
went
to
on.
fight Ray Lewis. Yeah.
Well, did you ever hear the
That's
Raiders
beastie.
story?
No, huh?
You remember when Seymour punched Ben?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right in the throat.
After the game, I guess it was Kimawatu, Essex. Essex. I can't remember the big dude. Was it Oliver? No, the right tackle at the time. They went out to the
I
bus
can't
to
remember.
get Seymour, and he went. They said they had the whole side of the bus off the ground. They were going to flip the bus over, and then he seen Hampton come running, and then that's when security came. So if Hampton would have got there, that bus was going to
That
go.
bus
Oh,
was
it was
over.
going to be flipped over big time.
Oh, that bus was going. They were already trying to flip the bus over.
Could you imagine that in out there playing the Raiders? Because that was out there, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
RB,
was
we thank
out there. Yeah, they were out there trying to flip the bus.
crazy, man. We thank you so much, my friend. Great to work with you. I look forward to so much more, RB.
Yes.
Everybody, RB, Jen does say hi to you, RB, on the
hello,
board.
Jen.
Everybody, guys, thank you so much. Hey, you have a great day, sir. Again, we're going to continue to keep working hard.
Hey, you guys too.
We're going to continue to see a lot more of RB moving forward, guys. NFL draft 37 days away. Thank you so much, RB. You have a great one, sir, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
All right,
See ya.
brother. All right, Mike. Great scoop. I love having RB and Chop involved. I learned so
Yes.
much about the draft. So much going on. It is St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I do want to say happy St. Patrick's Day to you. If you ain't wearing green, you might get pinched, and Mike has the same approach that I have. Apparently he wants to get pinched, and we're hoping somebody pinches us. That's the plan.
I've
So
been trying to get pinched all day, and no one will pinch me. Am I that repulsive?
yes, you are. You're not, but you know what? I'll pinch you. I'll come down to your studio and I'll pinch you right now, mister. Let me get back on the board though. Good to see everybody. Welcome back. I'm gonna jump in right here with I want to say what's up to Yinzer Joe. I want to say what's up to Somber. Sorry. Everybody, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you be. I'm gonna start Mike right around here. We got RB up to about this point where Tyrone is saying, I'm hoping McCarthy and Graham changed the scheme. Tortilla says McCarthy. Okay, we did get that. He's a nerd. Let's go to Tortilla. He says Tater has been late the last few episodes. And I'm wondering what's going on with that because again, at the end of the day, in Ireland, who knows what time it is over there, Mike?
Well, and it's St. Patrick's Day, so he's probably 3 seats to the win by now.
That's what I'm thinking. And plus, what time of day is it in Ireland right now? It's got to be night. I would think. I don't know how the world clocks work. Mike is going to look into that. Let me grab
Yeah, exactly.
Somber says he's a control freak. When you want to control everything, you better hope things go well because it's all on you. Let's go to Tortilla. He says, especially after the game changed, he thrived off of having a hit first, ask questions later defense. Mike, what time do you have in Ireland?
It is 5:06 p.m. Yeah,
Oh.
Tater's fucked up. His mom's looking for him. Yeah.
I just
He's in
assumed that he was. I just assumed that he was already in his PJs and in bed, but it's only 5 o'clock. Jeez, oh man, only 4 hours ahead apparently than from Eastern Standard Time, which is crazy. I thought it would be so much further, but it's not. We were getting. We're going to work on that. Somber, thank you, sir. He says crazy lag on RB. He says, was he going live from Tahiti?
It was like remember when you and I started to do it on this platform, Ryan? Go live, how you'd get a little choppy. That's how it was with RB. It will smooth it out.
He did great. I was happy for him, Mike. Again, sometimes it's not easy getting on and doing your first time. I thought he did wonderfully, and again, a lot of knowledge. Very, very excited about RB. Yinzer Joe says hello. Yinzer, what's up? Yinzer Joe, always great seeing you, my man. Tortilla says Penix and Dart both said to Gruden their snap count was a clap. Mark Malone talking about Beck. Aaron J, there he is, my man. There is that message. I gotta be honest now, Mike. Now that he knows and he does it often, if I don't get that message when I don't know what's gonna go on with me because again, once I see that message, it's like that's the turn of the new leaf of the day. I'm ready. This is my Tuesday. I got my Aaron Jade's comment, Mike. So I don't know what he's got himself into, because my OCD may kill us all.
It might, like, there's going to be a day that Aaron can't make it and that post does not get posted, and you are going to you're going to freak out on me.
Let's go to Just Learning. He says, get JJ McCarthy. Get JJ McCarthy.
Oh, no.
Mark Malone, he says, Cower would like the look in Beck's eye. And then he would walk around him.
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
And then he would walk around the other side and like the look in the other eye. Tyrone says A-Rod probably already signed. Just what that's what I'm getting. I seen this. I read it yesterday. Some people laughed at me, but again, I did say that what I'm hearing, and again, that Aaron Rodgers is almost a done deal at this point, and it's just a matter of introducing the announcement. That wasn't a fact, and again, this is just speculation at this point, but this is what I feel is going on, Mike. And also at this point, we're not left with many options beyond Aaron Rodgers if that does not play out. Again, a lot of people like the idea of Will. I like the idea of Will too, but I don't know if you're going to throw this guy in to be a starter. I think at this point, Mike, people are starting to feel really confident that this is probably going to be one more Aaron Rodgers year.
Yeah, I think so too. And I saw some cryptic tweets from like some reporters and stuff of like Rodgers running around, Rodgers celebrating. So yeah, it sounds like they're
lost Mike there. I'd like to see some of them shots of Aaron Rodgers running around celebrating. Just again, he's such an animated figure, like a cartoon character he is. I would love to
on
see
the field, obviously.
I would love to see what it looks like to see him running around and celebrating. Like, just
he can't run around anymore ever since Roger Jones tried to tackle him.
That was so crazy. Jen says, hey, everybody. Always great seeing Jen. Hope things are getting better for you. Nice seeing you all the way from Wisconsin. Jen, welcome to the show.
So back to the Carson Beck comments real quick. I was Googling Carson Beck, and he'll do the predictive text, and then it'll show you like the most common thing. Carson Beck, and then you hit space. The next thing that comes up is eyes. Not college stats, not draft positioning. Girlfriend was on there. No, eyes. Eyes was no. Yeah, I don't want my quarterback most searched term after his name to be his eyes.
I tell you what, though, if you're a guy that follows the quarterback's eyes, you are not going to be successful against Carson Beck.
You bastard!
You're going to constantly be thinking he's throwing out into the two flats all the time. But if he throws it downfield, I think he got you beat. Let's move on to Somber. Somber says mentioned Trayanum 3 months ago. Into Joe says, I'm more worried about the defense stepping up this year than McCarthy's offense. And that's a good concern. And you know what? Adding the talent hopefully gets them playing good. But again, last year, Mike, so much speculation that this was going to be such a great defense. Some of the players said maybe one of the best defenses ever. Historic was the word they used. And again, at the end of the day, Mike, I don't think we've seen any of that. As a matter of fact, getting ran on at home for 250 yards in one game and a bunch of other things that happen throughout the course of the year would tell us otherwise. But Mike, this defense this year, again, the guys that are there together, another year together, a new coaching scheme, a new defensive coordinator, and then add some of these other players, sprinkle them in there. Again, I don't see why a lot of people are saying that this team is going to totally fail when it feels to me that I can be at least what it was. And in what it was last year, and that could at least be the floor, and we could at least be 10-7 this year. That's just my take, Mike. I think 9-8, 10-7 is probably the worst this team is going to do, and that's just again my opinion. But is there anything that tells you otherwise? What are the people that are on the outside that are saying that this is going to be a total collapse this year? What are they saying? What are they seeing?
I don't know. To be honest with you, are they expecting every player to regress on the team and not improve? To be honest with you, I don't know, because last year they're saying this was going to be a terrible team. They're going to have all these losing records, blah blah blah, be one of the worst teams in the league. We chugged right along. We hanging tough with some of the better teams in the league for the most part. So I don't see the Steeler team taking a major step back. You know, guys are going to be excited to play now for a new coach, new system, new scheme. You know, guys will be playing for their jobs, playing for their futures. You know, that's what happens when the new boss comes around. Past performances don't mean diddly poo anymore. You're like, what are you going to do for me and in my scheme? So guys should be more motivated than ever. Like this team should come balling out week after week, man.
See, that's what I'm seeing. Again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense the other way. If other things would have happened, Mike, I would agree that, you know what, this might be a shitty season, but everything they did was to keep them competitive, to keep them in the game. And I got to be honest, Mike, I don't see anything lower than a 9 and 8. I think it's going to be better than that. Let's stay up on the board here for a couple minutes, Mike. And we do have some things we're going to get into. We also have something special for you here as the show goes on. Let's just jump on the board right here to where Ty says, yeah, I remember that dude. We watched him. Somber said, yep. Tyrone says, me too, Yinzer Joe. We need this defense to play to the potential we know they're capable of.
Yep.
Ortega says, can't catch lightning in a bottle or thunder in a pinch. I don't know. I'll take the challenge. Let's go to Tyrone, where he says, this Mike McCarthy will bring this offense together. Just learning. RB did do great. I agree. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. I think RB did spectacular. Can't wait to do more work with him. Let's go on to the next comment. Mike, what's everything all right on the board there on the screen?
I was getting ready. I was getting ready for the Carson Beck comments coming up.
Now, why you couldn't warn us?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it would happen immediately. I apologize.
I planned on eating this afternoon. What the? He looks like Steve Buscemi, the actor. He is going to play Steve Buscemi in Steve Buscemi's movie of his life, the younger years. Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it would happen that quick when I thought I could set it up in the background. I apologize.
That'll clear your system out, man. Let's go to Mark Maloney. Says he can really look a player off.
That's what I was setting it up for.
He could really look a player off. I like it. Also, Tyrone is saying Steelers host DB Chris Johnson. They do have some players coming in for some visits, Mike. Also, Cody says Carson Beck can see his left and right tackle at the same. Who needs a good left tackle if you have Carson Beck, Mike?
Exactly. He knows what's coming.
What is that called? That view that you could do where it's what is that called?
The periphery or panoramic?
The panoramic. He has panoramic vision. Let's go to Just Learning. He says, I was just kidding about JJ. Team Rogers, my man. Also, Joe Rogers only jumps around like Mario. That's his celebration move. Ty says, I want to see A-Rod with this offense with actual weapons. I do too, man. It's more exciting, everything that happens. Every guy that we brought in. And again, I think every move on the offensive side was an upgrade so far. And in the defensive side as well, but just for the case of the point. And then Ty, all right. Let's do, Mike, we have some things we're going to get into. Mason McCormick and Peyton Wilson hitting big on these bonuses, Mike. Apparently the performance-based pay bonuses, Mason McCormick, who was a 4th-round pick in 2024, he for his performance-based pay bonus gets an extra $1.1 million, basically almost $1.2 million, and also Peyton Wilson, Mike, 1.1 as well. These two guys certainly getting thrown into the Lions. That's juncture of their career as a rookie. Hey, you know what? The right guard's gone. Get in there. You're the new guy. You never played a down. You never played a snap. Get in there and play football. He did it, Mike. Peyton Wilson, again, love him, hate him. The guy's all over the place. He played his ass off since he's been in town. Mike, any comments on, again, Peyton Wilson and Mason McCormick with these nice bonuses that I think they both deserve? Very
well done. And yeah, well done, well deserved for both of them, and really well done and well deserved. I think Mason McCormick, man, he's exceeded a lot of expectations. He was supposed to have a year to you're reading that one too. Supposed to have a year of apprenticeship, but was thrown into the wolves, man. And he fucking, I'm loving Mason McCormick, and
Yeah.
I think this new coaching staff is going to take him to a whole nother level.
And Mike, it's not that often that you get these kind of surprises, because again, somebody like Antonio Brown, you get him in the 6th round, you're like, okay, this kid, let's see if we can make something out of him. He became what he became. Mason McCormick, it kind of falls in that category. I'm not willing to crown him what he's done, what AB done, but I got to be honest, Mike. As a rookie thrown in there, he wasn't a big prospect. He was a 4th round guy. And he jumped in there and he held the job. He held it 2 years in a row. He's not going nowhere. And to find that missing piece, Mike, in that capacity, the way that we were able to grab him in the 4th round, maybe he might work, maybe he won't. We'll work with him, see what we have. And the fact that he came in like he did, hit the ground running, and prove that he's going to be on this offensive line for years to come alongside Zach Frazier. You've got to like it, Mike, because good surprises don't always happen. It's usually the other way more often than not.
Exactly.
This Mason McCormick situation, if you're just an overall guy that loves the hogs up front or understands the concept of how important the lines are to your football team, I think you really appreciate Mason McCormick, what we have in this guy. And again, very thankful, because now you don't have to go out and try to hunt and find and do everything that we got to do on the left side of the line with the guy other than already.
And I love his energy too.
Everyone
feeds off of his energy when he's rocking and rolling. You know it's going to be a long day for the D line. And my God, you get Fatano in round 1, Frazier in round 2, McCormick in round 4. You get 3/5 of your starting line in one draft. Not bad.
We'll take it.
Not bad.
And like,
it kind of like eases the pain of like, okay, Roger didn't work out.
Well,
but all these other guys did. So, okay, cool. We can figure this out.
Mike, it's taken 5 years to even try to understand what the hell Broderick Jones is. We managed to knock out 3 other positions in one draft.
Yeah.
So again, sometimes it doesn't work in your favor. Other times it does.
Yep.
We'll take
it's a crapshoot, man. It's a crapshoot.
It is. It is. It really is. Let's go. Let me check out on the board here. I got a lot of things we're going to get into. What's up?
The Texans signed guard Wyatt Teller. I was hoping the Steelers would be able to get him on the cheap.
All right, let's
just as a stopgap.
Let's jump on the board. We'll get to that in just a moment. RB says this. You know how China does that selective breeding thing for athletes? Someone should make Angel Reese and Carson Beck have a baby. Best field court vision ever.
360 vision, baby.
Because she has that thing going on too, like one of them people from the Ice Age movie.
Yeah. Now, like she originally, she looks like. They both look like the Sloth, man. And we can get John Leguizamo as the voice, so he's back there calling the plays in that weird ass voice.
Yeah.
Somber
says Beck has 2 fisheye lenses.
Fisheye foo.
Fisheye foo. Yinzer Joe says Mike Tomlin just has a presence and an expectation for 10-7. We were clueless on McCarthy and what he'll bring, even though his record was relatively close to Tomlin's. You're right. They are similar, but they're different. That's what's going to be fun about this, guys. And again, maybe some of the things that we are lacking on the offensive side of the ball are going to be things that we do see. But I still think that the coaches themselves, the people, they're similar for the most part. And again, I've called them like again with Harbaugh, McCarthy, and Tomlin for quite some time. And I expect some of the similar style, but again, Mike, I'm excited about the offense that's going to be brought to this. Not that I think that McCarthy's this great offensive genius. I think that he's good. I think he likes working with quarterbacks. He knows what he's doing. He won a Super Bowl, and at the end of the day, it's having a guy with an offensive mind. That's very exciting for me, Mike, as a 47-year-old person who's watched the Steelers for 40 some years. Never really having an offensive-minded coach. We went through periods of Ben did many great things on offense and certainly helped that aspect, Mike. But I can't help but be excited about the future possibilities of what this offense could bring.
Me too, because like we were talking about earlier, excuse me, Mike McCarthy's offensive systems are still used throughout the NFL. Like stuff that he came up with early in his career, those concepts are still used. There's what he did in Green Bay still being used throughout the NFL. Dallas is more or less still his entire offense, and it's one of the best offenses in the league. So I have a high expectations for this offense. I can't wait to see it go.
Yeah, I can't either, Mike. And again, getting the weapons, getting the new toys. you can't wait. July can't get here fast enough. Just so you know, the camp is starting. Get up to Latrobe. Then August, you get out and see the guys in preseason, and in September. So again, very excited, Mike, about seeing this offense. It won't be long now. Again, only 37 days from the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, PA, guys. So much going on this offseason. It's been a blast. Far from over. As you're saying, Mike, people are still moving around. Free agency is still happening. Of course, you just read that. What was you just reading, Mike? Somebody moved and
Wyatt Teller.
Wyatt Teller. So that was somebody that we had interest in, of course. And if you didn't catch the other big high-profile moves over the past 24 hours, at least to us, because these are names that we've been keeping an eye on for a couple of years for various reasons. Christian Kirk, Mike, Christian Kirk was a name that we were interested in when we didn't have any receivers. Christian Kirk is on his way to San Francisco, and Jalen Waddle is on his way to Denver, Mike. So again, it seems like things are kind of set to where, as far as those skill positions go in free agency, I think maybe the Steelers are already on their next step. They're already looking at the possibilities at the draft. Not much really out there as far as skill players, receivers for sure.
Yeah,
in the free agency left, is there?
Yeah, it looks like the top two definitely. We know who they are. Looks like right now our buddy Roman Wilson has a role in the team. Looks like Ben Skoranek, will be that bottom guy / gunner on the team. So that's okay there. It's telling me they're going to take 2 wide receivers in the draft. At least you need at least 2 more to flush out your starting room right there. So that's telling me 2 more in the draft, and maybe after the draft and after preseason, you get down to the cuts to rotate, bring someone in to fill out if you don't like, Roman Wilson or some shit like that. But yeah, it looks like they're done on the free agency.
And you know what? I don't hate the Roman Wilson idea. I just, again, we've seen so small sizes. They were good. I mean, with the exception of the fumble, you got to be excited about seeing Roman Wilson, especially if this offensive coordinator and this offense and his head coach can implement him in a way that he's going to be useful. So, Mike, that's going to be interesting, because if in fact it had anything to do with Aaron Rodgers and favoritism or playbooks or whatever the fact of the matter is, new coaching staff, something is going to have to give eventually, because again, the new coaching staff may or may not be like Tomlin was with Aaron Rodgers, but at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see when the rubber hits the road with that situation, Mike, on which way.
Yeah, it's going to be a completely different setup this year. I can't wait to see how it goes, man.
Super excited, guys. Let's do scoot on the board. A lot of things to get into today. And again, something special later on in the show. Do stick around. Tyrone says, factions or Joe, I think we can get to 12 this year. 10 at the lowest. Talking about that record. I see, I'm thinking so too. Again, it isn't like terrible things happen to us. This team managed to win 10 games last year and get to the playoffs in pretty dire situation. The offense, again, Mike, it was deficient. They had no receivers. It had backup running backs. It had a little bit of every problem that you could have. So again, if this team can continue to improve, I don't see any reason why they can't be as good as they were last year. John, Big John Stud, middle name Mud, right here on the terrible board. Always great seeing you, sir. He says, did I miss on any Howard discussions?
No.
We saved those ones just for you, John. How you doing, sir? Always great seeing John. There's the Wyatt Teller news, of course. Tyrone, thank you for that, sir. The GOAT, Tyrone. Somber says, meanwhile, they both make more money than any of us will ever see. Tortilla says, maybe we need a lizard person. We do need a lizard. Tortilla. You want to be the GM? Because again, yes, I'm sure if we had a lizard person, it would be very successful. That's all I'm going to say. Let's do scoot up to Yinzer Joe. He says, what if the Steelers draft Freeling? Does that give indication that Jones isn't good, ready, or recovering well? Or I think they should either way to protect Rodgers. Mike, it seems to me, and I'm going to pass it to you because I don't know about it seems to me that going into the draft with those 2 huge needs, which are the left-hand side of your line, the guard and the tackle position, if you grab that kid from Penn State or one of these other guards, you're going to be set for a long time, because you know that you have nothing at that position. See them all who left. What are we going to do? The free agency's almost done. If we don't grab somebody, so it's really making me think, Mike, that the guard position is going to be the one of those two that are of higher demand in 37 days,
Yeah.
because the tackle kind of, sort of, not really, but kind of has things going on. Again, with Cook and with Jones, and there's a bunch of question marks.
Yeah.
But the guard position, there's Spencer Anderson is basically the answer right now. Would you agree that the guard is more of a priority at this time, even though the left tackle is the most important position on the offensive line? But what we have, what we don't have, and where we want to go moving forward, is the guard the higher priority? And again, this kid from Penn State, Mike, this could be the guy on the other side of Frazier for the next 5 to 7 years,
Yeah.
if we wanted it to be. Guard, tackle, you're the Steelers GM, 37 days. What's a higher priority to you?
Guard, because even though it's small sample size, I think there's something to work with there in Dylan Cook. I take Dylan Cook, and then I'm gonna get my guard in the first round, maybe in the fourth round if he's sitting there. Big old Markel Bell.
Yes.
See if we can thin him down on some weight. See if we can work on his quickness. Maybe he can play left tackle. Maybe if it doesn't work out down the line, him at left. See if he can play right. Fatanu is athletic enough to where he can play left if you need him. So they have flexibility in line, but I think they want to keep everyone where they are right now and just keep them set in and plug those holes. But I would go Freeling. I think he's the only tackle in the draft that really played specifically left tackle, but he only started, it looked like, this year. Last year he played like 400 snaps. I'm sorry, in previous year he played 400 snaps. This year 800 snaps. That was his first time as a full-time starter. Do we want to go down that road again? Someone who only had that 1 year of starting, or do we want to get the guard who has 3 years of playing time and experience, and you know what you're getting out of him? I would go with and then let Dylan Cook go there and maybe pick someone up in free agency, a little, not your high-end free agent, because there's none out there. So whatever tackle you can find, get him there to be your backup. Because at least with you get the guard, that's 4/5 of your line set.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you're looking good. You're looking pretty good. You can always shift Darnell over there too, line him up over there. You do two tight end sets. He can help chip, stuff like that. There's a ways to protect that left tackle, and if McCarthy and them want to run it that way, they can do it. And then that way, I'm all about getting my guy from Penn State, just like the way I was getting my guy Harmon last year.
Absolutely. Let me ask you. Let me tell you this. James Harrison, of course, Mike. Everybody's familiar with Mr. Harrison. James Harrison says, "I'm a little excited." Mike, he says, "I'm a little excited about the current Steelers roster." He said it reminds him of the early Roethlisberger era when you're talking about the roster.
Isn't that what we've been talking about on the show?
Absolutely.
For years now. Well, welcome to the program, Harrison. Yeah, we've been talking for years now about building the team and then plucking in your quarterback, and that's what we need to keep doing.
Absolutely. And you know what? You improve that line. Let's just say you grabbed your left guard, and something works out. Let's say Dylan Cook ends up doing a good job, a serviceable job at left tackle, and you do have that your 5 guys. I mean, when was the last time you felt comfortable with the 5 guys playing up front for the Steelers? It's been
a long
some
time ago.
And from the center out to the right, these guys have been proving themselves year after year. Zach Frazier is a rookie. Again, the guard is a rookie. Fatano being injured in the first year, but Mike, he really comes on his sophomore year, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
So if you can get this problem fixed in this draft, again, you got to really be feeling good about the direction of this team, because this is where they wanted to start back with Broderick Jones years back, and of course we're still trying to figure it out. But again, if we could solve that problem, get the offensive line solved, then so many other things, as James, as the people on the board, as everybody has been saying, get a nice team. That way, when you get your guy, you can put him right in place, kind of like we did Ben. Ben came in at the cut, Mike. Remember early on, he was just going out to just be the field general. Don't do anything crazy. Don't turn the ball over. And then he improved. He got confident, and he was able to become Ben out there. So, again, very excited, Mike. I would not be against grabbing the left guard early, and it kind of seems as of free agency is going right now, unless something pops up. And, again, another name off the board, as you just mentioned, that could be the play 37 days from now. in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the first round.
Yeah, because the guys that are out there in free agency right now, I'm looking at like I'd rather run with the rookie because I think he's going to have a better upside. I think he's a plug and play player. You draft him and you just plop him right in there and you go. None of this bullshit. Oh, you're going to be number 2 on the depth chart. We're going to have a competition at training camp. No, just plug him in there and go. Whereas some of these guys, Joel Petonio, James Daniels maybe, but I don't trust the injuries there. I think even a Trevor Penning, Greg Van Rooten, I think Vega's going to be better than these guys right off the rip, and he's going to be better long-term than those guys. So, and stay true to your philosophy, what you've been doing. Build those lines. There's an obvious hole there. Why not use your first-round pick on them? And because it's a deep class for receivers, man. You can potentially wait till the 3rd round to draft your first receiver and get another one in the 3rd round as well, and you're looking good for a receiver room.
All right, let's get back on the board. I'm seeing a few comments. I'm also seeing RB jumped in on a few things, so let me get back on the board here. Cody said, anyone know the amount of time Rodgers got sacked last year? I bet it was the same as Russell Wilson. Let's go to Somber. Somber says Freeling is basically Broderick 2.0, very raw, high upside. We need known commodities. We need Concepcion, is what Mark Malone is saying. Cody says, I'm not looking forward to seeing Rodgers out there if no one is open. He's getting sacked. And again, I mean, there are more options. And again, the offensive line is another year together, at least center to the right. And, hopefully that experience could – and they could use the cohesiveness and experience they gain together to be better and keep them off our quarterback. Hopefully, that'd be the best case scenario, of course.
Russ was sacked 33 times in 11 games, and A-Rod was sacked 29 times.
How many? 16 games.
Yeah.
All right. Mark Malone says, if someone's open, we're scoring touchdowns. Also, Yinzer Joe says Rodgers got sacked because of the line and no one getting open. When you have one receiver and running back do all, and I agree, things are definitely improving because we've tackled that issue, and I can't even believe we were going through that issue in the first place with one wide receiver. But so in theory, that should certainly move things along as well because we're not worried about Scotty Miller trying to find his way open in the middle of the field. We have Michael Pittman Jr., and I think that's a little bit of an improvement, like Scotty Miller and Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, I love our receiver. It's just so much better right now.
I'm so excited.
It should open things up for a lot of guys this year.
Mark Malone says Anderson is the backup guard. Also, he says, I trust Cook. Let's go to Cody. He says that's a lot of offensive line to pay all at the same time. It kind of sort of in a way, but not really. Mike, how is that going to play? Because again, it is
worrisome because
it's worrisome
because the contract that Tyler Lindbaum just signed. If I'm Zach Frazier and his agent, I'm licking my chops because Frazier's already better than him.
How long has Lindbaum been in the league?
It's his 5th year now.
Okay.
4th or 5th. Yeah, it should be. I think it's his 5th year.
Interesting.
But yeah, I'm licking my chops if I'm Zach Frazier and his agents. I can't wait for my time the contract to come. And if Fatanu can keep getting better and better, he's going to be a hefty contract too. But hey, guys, some of these older guys, their contracts are coming off the books. And if we can get these guys signed or get them off the book, get these guys signed, then you hopefully have a young quarterback still under a rookie contract that's playing at a high level. There's good problems to have at that point,
Absolutely.
Then you just move on from that quarterback and start the cycle again.
Let's go to Somber. But that's a good question, Cody. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Somber says this. He says, yes, I trust Cook more at left tackle than I do Spencer Anderson at left guard. Mark Malone, that's interesting. That's an interesting comment as well. Mark Malone says, I draft Dunker. If it was up to Mark, we'd have Dunker, we'd have Corleone, we'd have Guy Wimper. Guy Wimper would be back. Anybody with a name. I love it though. Dunker's interesting.
Anyone with a name and a weird look.
Yeah. Scadaboo, he totally belongs here. I don't care what anybody says. But good luck to him in New York. Somber says Freeling is Broderick all over again. Also, Somber says no. Mark Malone says obviously Vega if he's there though. Go to RB. RB says, I think Fano is from Utah is better than Freeland. Well, let me ask you, is he Polynesian? Because if he is, I don't care. I want him.
I believe Spencer Fano might be of Polynesian descent, coming from Utah State. It's usually a good sign. Yeah, usually a good sign.
And I say that because I seen the Hawaii high school all-star game a couple seasons back, and Mike, it was insane. I wish you would have seen what was going on. It was like 22 Troy Polamalu's, and every one of them had hair, and they're all zipping around like torpedoes, and just it was unbelievable. Gimme Fanu. I don't like. I don't even
just on name alone.
Just on name alone. We'll take him first round. Hey, we'll take him. Cody says Broderick played like 13 games in college or something. Got you on that. And the Georgia Bulldogs. Vega Tyrone is saying Somber says PFF added the option to use other big boards. I used Trevor Sakema's big board, and Tate fell to us at 21. Take that. Let's see. Let's say one of those kind of names, Mike, like a Tate or somebody, is there at 21. Are you still inclined to take the left guard at that position if we have a chance to get a superstar at the wide receiver position or any skill position? Can we push back around to wait to get our guard? If
we can, because Dunker will probably could potentially be there in the second round if you want to go that route. If you're high on Tate, I know RB's not high on Tate, but if you are, go get him. If Makai Lemon is there, if you're high on him, get him. Like at that point, like the Steelers are right now, I think in the first round, if they wanted to, they can like just trust their draft board. Whoever they have as the highest rated player overall, I think they would be safe to go get them because you can find a spot for them to play and fit into your system.
For the most part, I mean, there's positions obviously that we don't need help, but so there's certainly some positions that you see if they're the best player and it's worth it.
Like,
you have to grab that player.
If you think they are the best player overall and you have a need for them or a fit for them in your system, I that's something I would never fault a team for. Like that's the better player. Go get him. Like get him. I want the better player on my team because I'll figure out the rest later.
Let's grab Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this: I'm not into Freeling. He was just the first name in mind. LOL. I really don't want to run big sets again to help the line. I hope they get a good guy out of the draft. Bustrous Jones is done, in my opinion.
I think he is done.
I think this injury might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. I think.
And it sucked too because he was starting to.
He was coming around.
He was coming around. You know, he still doing some little things that would annoy you every once in a while.
Yeah,
like get a little. I don't know if it was like lazy, but his technique would slack a little bit. But when it was there, he was playing better football. That injury happened. That dude.
It's not what you wanted to see from your left tackle. You need a good athlete over there. You need a guy that's big and can move and smart. And I'm not bad mouthing Broderick. He's not it, and it's not him. No. And unfortunately for him,
I thought he was on his trajectory to be a dominant, like road grading right tackle that's just going to maul people in the run game. You hide his deficiencies in the pass game. You just go back and watch those last 9 games of his rookie year. He was he was awesome at that position, and he wasn't sacking his own quarterback at that time. So this whole nonsense of he's a natural left tackle. No, he's not. Watch him in pass blocking. He fucking sucks.
I've literally never seen an offensive tackle his own quarterback. I don't know what he's a natural, but he's a natural something.
I want to hang out with Bro Joe. He looks like he'd be a good hang. I don't want him protecting my blind side, but I'd hang out with him.
Tortilla says pay Zach and Troy, redraft the rest. Cody says going to pay Fraser McCormick. I'm sorry, for Tanu Harmon and the new guy year after year, but I guess you can always fit. I mean,
you can't. The only
because he's not.
5th year's only for a first rounder, so it would be Fatanu.
Yeah. That's interesting, but again, like this was the game plan, and they know that going in. You know, if you're building a line, you're gonna have to pay a line, and somewhere else it'll come at the expense.
I trust Omar Khan to work out these contracts because he's a wizard.
Mark Malone says they usually move to Utah so they can have multiple wives. Tyrone says Fraser Troy F don't need paid till next year. Ty also says JPJ, Herbig, Darnell this offseason for sure. Those three names. RB says he's a Samoan. Fanu, of course, he's talking about. He says, I want every Samoan, and so do I. RB, I do too. And I'm going to follow that up with Steel Menace's message. Like he says, as a homegrown Polynesian, we just like to hit people. And you know what? We know and we love it.
Yes.
Chris Kiyamatu and Fuma Falafala and Troy
Fumatu
Polamalu.
Ma'afala.
Has there ever been somebody, Mike, that's Polynesian or Samoan, wherever that we didn't love here in Pittsburgh? Is there?
No.
Has there, Mike?
I'm trying to think. No, even I found out. I did not realize Jalen Warren is Samoan.
Yes, he is.
I never knew that.
We love him.
Blew my mind when I found that out yesterday.
Again, I can't describe what I seen on the TV that day, Mike, when I was watching that All-Star game. And these were high school kids.
Just beat the fuck out of each other.
It was truly, it was great. And again, love them. We'll take them all, as RB says. Bring them all here. Tyrone says, training camp, I see Omar extend his guys.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's usually when they start this training camp.
Also, let's go to Cody. He says he was sacking his own quarterback. Ty says this. Jones did better before he got hurt, but I think we move. It just seems like it's getting to that point with him, Mike. It's that's the writing on the wall.
With that injury, mate, I just have a feeling he's going to be on the IR, and you got to move on without him.
I agree. It's just gone on too long.
Yeah.
And then again, the injury. I mean, who's to say he's going to be as good as he was?
Exactly. With an injury like that, the neck, man, if you can't move your neck or any type of discomfort there, that's going to shoot all the way down your body. You know, it's just, it might be a career ender.
Yeah. And again,
which is a shame.
You know, he wasn't great. And what if it takes him 2 years to get back to where he was? And that's not even great. So again, it's just the writing on the wall. It's not good for Broderick. But you know what? It's business as usual. Nothing against the guy.
No, you got to do what's best for the team.
You do. Unfortunately, I mean, you know, it's like a job, any other job. You know. Tyrone says, Jones, I got you on that. Still loyal, my man. What's up, Still Loyal? He says the AFC is going to be tough this year. He says players are moving. Teams are getting tougher, Mike. Again, the Broncos falling just short because of unfortunate situation with the quarterback situation, Mike, in the playoffs last year. Can the Denver Broncos make some noise? Also, in that division, the Chargers are constantly improving, Mike. The Chiefs, you imagine, I don't know what's going to go on with Mahomes with his injury, but I can't imagine they're going to stay down forever. The AFC, again, New England, Buffalo, New England. Now they have something going back and forth in that division, which is going to make the competition is going to make those two teams better. So I couldn't agree with you more, Still Loyal. He says the AFC is going to be tough this year, Mike. Did all those AFC teams that missed the window this year, New England by not getting it done, Denver by falling short, all these teams that are the kind of the weirdo teams, the teams that haven't generally been leading the way, did they all miss that window, Mike? Is it going to close as we move forward, or does the AFC turn into a powerhouse at some point?
I don't know. I think the window in Buffalo might be damn near closed. I don't think they're ever going to get over the hump. Last year would have been their year. I think they're done. Chargers, I think they are what they are.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they're there.
Right.
They can win games. They can upset people, but I don't see them as a serious threat. Baltimore, I think their window might be shutting too. So it's, you know, right now it might be a New England, a Denver type thing. Maybe Pittsburgh sneaking in there as well. I don't know, man. I know teams are improving, but in that much, I think it's the NFC is where it's still at right now.
I agree. There's a lot of teams in the NFC that are kind of hitting their stride, where these teams in the AFC are kind of working their way up to that point still. I mean, Seattle, with that defense, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I mean, go down the list. We consider talk about NFC teams all day. Yeah. But again, it almost does seem like those weirdo teams, like that did get the higher seeds, might have missed that window. And again, But the teams that are generally good, though, again, Baltimore, they're not looking great. Again, Buffalo, you said they missed that window, and Patrick Mahomes with that injury, maybe it leaves it open for another year. Who knows?
It could be, because he's going to be out a while, and depending on what they do, I know like their lines need a lot of help still. They still and they got rid of their top 2 corners. It's weird what they're doing down there.
I agree. Let's get on the board. A lot of good stuff coming in. Somber says he does an S. An S as a celebration.
That's what. Yeah, for Samoa. I just found this out yesterday. I'm slow.
Yinzer Joe says dead on Tyrone. Also, RB, he says Almeida to Palua was a letdown.
Yeah, big old D tackle out of
Washington. That's right.
Yeah.
But how often do you get a guy of that background, Mike, that you're let down by? It's not often.
Didn't he have a big off-the-field issue? Like a major car wreck and flipped the seat or some shit?
It was something. Tortillas is Beck is Samoan, too. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Our defense or offense could use a big Yokozuna type in the middle. I agree. I love the Yokozuna, man, back in the day. Ronald Albright, I want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. Ronald says New England is going to go down this season faster than a Times Square hooker. Look at their opponents this year as opposed to last year. I love the Times Square hooker. Robert, you are getting a game ball for the day. But that's a good point. I will check that out. Their schedule, it was simple. And as a matter of fact, Mike, the Pittsburgh Steelers managed to beat that football team. So again, I hope Ronald's right. I never want to see New England do. And the thing is, I mean, if they wouldn't have won 20 straight years in a row, they wouldn't even be an issue, whatever. Yeah. But you just don't want to see that team do anything anymore. It's like F them.
Yeah, fuck them. I hate that team.
They're already, come on. But welcome to the show, Ronald. Great comment. Again, game ball goes to Ronald for the Times Square hooker. Comment, RB. Great. RB says Mike Chargers are on the rise. Tyrone says Steelers get the 3 seed this year.
Ooh, that might be some wishful thinking.
But Mike, we weren't that far off last year. Weren't we 3 or 4?
We
won the division.
We were the 4 seed, I believe.
So I mean, it's really not that far off to think about it. All we have to do is win the division. All we have to do win the division.
All you have to do.
And so again, we could definitely be 3. We could definitely be 3. Get ahead of minus 40 club. I want to say welcome back, of course. Get ahead of welcome to the show. Get ahead of says this. Wait, are you telling me Yokozuna really wasn't really Japanese?
He wasn't.
You know what?
Mind blown.
Mine is too. It just messed up my old childhood, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he's Samoan, man.
Let's go to some of these things that I have right here in front of me, Mike. I took a little bit of time yesterday to take a look at Ty Simpson to see what everybody's talking about. Listen, I just don't see it. I see a little bit of I see some happy feet. I see a kid that has talent, but I'm also seeing a lot of these highlights teams that are playing against Alabama having a hard time stopping somebody who's on a team that has a bunch of talent everywhere. Yes, Alabama wasn't great last year, but there's no secret. They get some of the best athletes in the country year in, year out due to their recruiting, due to them just being Alabama. So from what I saw, Mike, there was a lot of highlights. It wasn't against great competition or anything. I thought that his feet looked kind of happy at times, and there was nothing that really blew me away about Ty Simpson. And also as I'm watching, I'm trying to thinking, all right, how can he transfer into the NFL? Is what he does, is that look like it's NFL? He just doesn't do it for me, Mike. So what's the big Ty Simpson, the love affair with him at this point? Is there something that I'm missing? Because if there is, please tell me, because I want to look and see what it is. I just was not excited or impressed by Ty Simpson at all. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying I wasn't impressed, and I don't know why. Yeah. I don't think.
I'm trying to figure it out too. I have not been a big Ty Simpson guy. He had some good games, but like once he got the better competition, he just wasn't it. I don't see it in him. 64% completion percentage in college. That's not good going into the pros. Usually like a good indicator. I like looking at completion percentage because it's going to drop from college to the pros. 64% in college. What's that going to be in the pros? I just, for me, that jumps out at the screen to me. The guy does not complete a lot of passes. I'm just not impressed with him. I felt like you said, man, he gets happy feet. He can't handle the big time situations. He's just has better PR than Drew Aller right now. Is what it feels like. To me, they're the same guy. Just someone who just doesn't live up to the hype.
And I went into it, Mike, with a fair mind. I did, because again, I wasn't real familiar with him or his play, and I went in. I thought, okay, wow me, show me something that makes me want to see this guy as a Steeler. In just in all honesty, again, I have no reason to not like him outside of what I seen yesterday. I wasn't thrilled. I think that, again, if that's going to be what's best, and if that's going to be what you're going to be pairing up against Will, maybe you should just wait to see what comes out next year, because again, there was nothing special that I seen again, like from that school playing teams that are inferior schools. I think should have been even better. You should have got a better display of what I seen on tape, and it just, again, it wasn't great, it wasn't bad, but I didn't lay my head down and I thinking, man, we got to get him.
Yeah, same. Every time I watched him play, I was just not impressed. I hope he does well. Nothing against it, but I just don't think he has it. I've been wrong before, but none of these quarterbacks this year really impressed me. I just don't think it's a draft where you're going to find a surefire starter. I think a lot of these guys can be backup quarterbacks in the NFL, or fringe starters. But I'm not drafting a guy to be a fringe starter in the first round or the second round. I'm drafting the guy to be my guy in the first, second, maybe even in the third round anymore. Because like Dak was a third, fourth round pick, and he's playing MVP level football, but still can't get over the hump. That's where none of these guys even are going to hit that level. They're going to be, maybe the 27th best quarterback in the league. Is that going to win you a Super Bowl? No. I just don't see these guys. And Ty Simpson is, for me, like the poster child of this group of quarterbacks. I just don't see it at all.
All right, let's move on. Cody says, I'm interested to see what happens with Denver, Kansas City, Las Vegas, and LA. Who do you guys think comes out on top? In the AFC West, Denver, Las Vegas,
Chargers,
and Chiefs.
Oh, could be.
I mean, it's going to be a highly competitive division. No two ways about it.
Right now, I'm going to lead towards the Chargers. I think because look, Mahomes is hurt. Raiders are going to have Mendoza.
I'm going Denver. I like Denver the 4.
Yeah,
it's just because, again, as you said, like the Chargers just tend to fall apart. They just do. That's kind of their thing.
If they had Bo Nix, they probably were going to be in the Super Bowl.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm not a big fan of Bo Nix. I like what he's doing,
but with that being said, bring over Jalen Waddle into the mix as they just did today. Add some more people in the draft. Only because the Chargers choke a lot is why I'd have to go Broncos in that. And basically that's what it comes down to, Mike, is the fact that the Chargers just don't get it done.
Yeah,
because I like to try. I like the building they've been doing. Like new coach, the young quarterback, skill players coming, the defense. I mean, the defense is damn good. But they just
when healthy, they on paper they should have the best tackle tandem in the NFL.
Mike, they started out last season by the first 3 games of the year beating all 3 teams in their division. Off to a great start, 3-0, beat all 3 teams from the West. You think, this Charger team, this is really coming along. They always fall off. They've never not fell off, Mike. That is just the Chargers' way, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who the coach is. They always tend to fall short, even with the quarterback too. They tend to fall short.
Tortilla says this. He says, we got a lot of talent too. We have a lot of talent too. Tyrone says Tortilla was so high on Simpson, I had to wake him up. Tortilla says, no, I just don't hate him as much as most Steeler fans. I don't have any problem to hate Ty. Again, I didn't know much about him. I was hoping to be wowed or see something that was going to draw interest from him. And again, who am I? I'm just saying it didn't work for me, but I don't get paid the big dollars to make them calls. Let's go to Steele. He says he's Kenny Pickett 2.0. Tortilla said, oof. Tyrone said 3.0.
Oh, wow.
Somber says, what a horrible last name for a quarterback. Pickett. Ty, I agree. I think that Denver just does the 3 because, again, Denver was this close. Bo Nix was in there. They may have went on to win the Super Bowl. And the fact that the New England-Denver game was such a good game without Denver having their star quarterback, I like Denver out of that crop. Yinzer Joe says, well, Mahomes completed 63% in college, so we probably shouldn't feed too much on that. Also, Steel Loyal says, Kenny throw a Pickett. Kenny throw a Pickett. Somber says, Kenny, I'll throw it if you pick it. Steel Loyal says, Kenny, please pick it. Somber says, did you guys talk about Crosby, AJ Brown rumors? We have not.
No,
I heard some rumors about Crosby in Cleveland. Haven't heard much about AJ Brown. Throw it up on the board. Would love to hear what you got, Somber. Mike, as he does that, I want to talk about a certain player.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a player because, of course, the draft is coming into Pittsburgh next month, 37 days away. So I want to talk about Pittsburgh for a minute. We talked about how they certainly contributed. The Yinzers certainly contributed to. Hold on, I do have to catch this. It is a breaking. Somber did throw this up on the board. Breaking: Eagles and the Raiders are very close on a trade that would see AJ Brown and Max Crosby swap teams alongside draft pick compensation. So what Somber's saying, if it's true, the Eagles would get Max Crosby and AJ Brown would go to the Raiders. Had that be the case, Mike, and that might be very interesting because the Raiders bringing in a lot since last year, a lot of free agency. Mike, of course, they're going to get the number one player, the quarterback. You had AJ Brown. New coach, new system. Maybe the Raiders might be competitive. I don't know.
That actually wouldn't be a bad trade for the Raiders because they were already willing to move on from Max Crosby from their defense. And then you add them to an offense that is lacking anything at the wide receiver position. That would be a smart move right there.
It would be able to help the young kid at quarterback too. If they're going to throw to the Wolves, having AJ Brown to throw to is you're putting yourself in a better position than a lot of other quarterbacks even have. So for him, that would be helpful, I would think.
I think so too. And then, excuse me, Brock Bowers is, he is nasty at the tight end position. And then if I'm them too, I'm doing what I can to improve that offensive line. Absolutely. As well too. Like how many times Gino was getting hit in the backfield, Genty was getting hit in the backfield before they can even do anything. Yeah. Prove that. But this is what bad teams do. They won't improve the offensive line. They'll get all the sparkly little pieces on offense and have a shit offensive line.
Let's go to Tortilla right here, where Tortilla says this, Mike. I'm sorry. I want to say real quick, Somber says that was an hour ago. So, all right, we appreciate that. Thank you, Somber, for the breaking news. Let's go to Tortilla. He says Ty Simpson won't be a hero and make your team better. He's a quarterback you plug in to a good system. He's a Brock Purdy, Steel Loyal says. Also, Steeler Freak John got derpy ass. Pickett. Get ahead of minus 40/40 Club says, I read somewhere yesterday that the Steelers have interest. And you know what? That was popping up out of the blue yesterday. About 3 or 4 different sources I've seen. I saw that as well. Vegas, what's good? Vegas in the house, Mike. He says, what's good, fellas? Always great seeing Vegas on a terrible board. Ty says that'd be a good trade. Of course, talking about this Raiders and Eagles possible trade. And Getta says this, I hope it's not true.
I mean, you don't want this guy right here to be your starting quarterback? I mean, come on now. Look at those eyes.
And you know what is as crazy as he looks? He was in like the last 45 national championships somehow. Right? It didn't matter who was in; he was their quarterback.
Like he's on the Kenny Pickett college program, man. How many him and Chambliss, man? How many courses can we keep stay? How many presidential administrations can we stay in college?
They don't even have degrees for as long as these kids are in school anymore. Some of these players.
My God, like how many master's degrees do you have? What? I'm looking there and there.
Ronald Albright says this, Mike, AJ Brown to the Raiders would be great. Just think he could teach all those illiterate Raider players how to read from the bench. Get ahead of it. Is he high? If not, he should be walking around with that face. Mark Malone said he's only 23. Only 23.
For Beck, I thought Beck was older than that.
I don't know, because he was on a lot of them damn national championship teams.
I know, right? I swear he's been in college since the Hoover administration.
Somber says Chuck Chambliss Beck on the 10-year plan.
He is. He's only 23.
That's wild. That's wild.
That is nuts.
Let's see. John, Steeler Freak John, he says this. He fan read these east, west, north, and south without moving his head. He can, of course, I think he can read these, is what he said. Tortilla, I got a master in snow bunnies. And then,
there you go.
And then John says, Mike McCarthy has fish eyes too. And then Mark Malone says, I would have been in college at 17 had I gone straight out of high school. Mike, the guy I was just going to talk about just a moment ago, is Jaquan Brisker, of course, from right here. He went to Gateway High School, City League School right here in Pittsburgh, Mike. He goes on to Penn State, and his buddy, another local guy, plays a heavy role, a huge role. His friend, Mike, you might recognize this young gentleman. A gentleman that goes by the name of Joey Porter Jr. played a huge role in bringing in Brisker, Mike. He says Joey Porter Jr. was on the phone with Brisker's agent, getting in his ear, trying to say, I want my friend to come to the Steelers. And it happened, Mike. Jaquan Brisker to the Steelers. I'm excited about this, but I want you to tell the story that you told me yesterday about him going. This is going to be his first Steeler game, and again from Gateway High School, in the City League, to Penn State. This is going to be, when he plays here this year, it's going to be Jaquan Brisker's very first Steeler game. Tell us about this. I thought this was very. It's a cool story.
Yeah, he was saying how all through high school, like, he grew up poor. I was watching another video where, like, the house would get flooded. There'd be mold and mildew everywhere. So, like, to help him and get out of that situation, and mom would, like, had him, like, go live with, like, coaches and friends at their house, so he didn't have to be around that type of situation or live in that condition. And they were so poor, like, they were never able to go to a Steeler game. And his first ever Steeler game, first game ever in Heinz Field Acrisure Stadium, will be the game that he plays. It'll be the first game he ever watches. He grew up a lifelong Steeler fan, not too far away from the stadium. So it's nice to see, someone grew up that dirt poor and is now able to go, play in the stadium, let alone be able to afford tickets there. So that's some nice little heartwarming story there on Brisker.
That's wild.
He's just all around seems like a good kid too, man. He's a grown-ass adult, but you know what I mean.
I mean, because listen, my family didn't have money when I was growing up, and I just always assumed that your parents would take you to a game, they would find a way, and again, to know somebody that just couldn't even do that much, so good for him. Again, his first game at a Steeler game, he will be playing in, and he will be wearing number 3. Mike, he announced his number yesterday. No, that's not Jeff Reed out there. That is Jaquan Brisker, Mike, making the announcement, along with some of the other Steelers we mentioned yesterday. Number 3 in the secondary this year.
When you wear that number 3, someone keep our boy Jaquan Brisker out of every sheets that we can find. He does not need to go and fight, paper towel dispensers.
He does not, guys. Again, very exciting, very, very excited about Jaquan Brisker, Mike. In the secondary, you got to be excited about what's going on. Let's jump back on the board. I don't want to get behind. We've done good to this point, so I'm going to do my best to keep up. I'm going to go right here to Steel Loyal, where he says, Tina, come get some food. If you didn't read it as Napoleon Dynamite, I don't know what to say.
I caught that comment, started reading it in Napoleon Dynamite's voice as I was telling that story about Jaquan Brisker, at poor home having mildew and mold, and trying not to laugh. Assholes.
Tyrone says, Mark, honest question with I'm sorry, who do you see in Sloth Boy? What do you see in Sloth Boy? Oh, okay. What do you like in him? I think Mark likes to pull our leg, actually, but I don't know. He might like him. Mark Somber says, thoughts on KC Concepcion, Mike, having a knee scope last week. I was going to ask you about that and not running the 40 at his pro day. Didn't run it at the combine either. Same with Boston. I was curious. I seen that, Mike. I didn't know what to make of it.
Um, I don't like the sound of that. Um, especially getting this close to the draft. That's something you're at that hope that your medical staff checks out and make sure he's good to go. Needs to go. Maybe it's just clearing something out, and that's it. That's fine. Not running the 40. I it doesn't bother me. You either play fast on film or you don't. He looks good on film, so I trust that better than the stopwatch. Jerry Rice ran a slow ass 40, and he was the greatest receiver of all time. We've seen guys run 4.2 40s that do nothing in the NFL, so I'm not too worried about it. I just if I'm any team looking at him, especially I know the Steelers were rumored to be, make sure that knee is a-okay, because we don't need another, high priced rookie going out and missing time his rookie year. It's been a theme.
All right, Mark Malone. Mark Malone says this. I really do just like how crazy he looks. And you know what?
That's fair enough.
That's fair. With a face like that, that's a perfect explanation. I accept that. Also, Mark follows that up by saying he'd scare opposing teams like that player off of Waterboy with the eyes. Let's go up to RB. He says Yokozuna was a Samoan. He was a Samoan, guys. Let's get up here to John. John says this, Steeler Freak John. He says, I was at LA Tech, the same Louisiana Tech, the same school Bradshaw was at 17. I flunked out because teachers dropped me for lack of attendance, even though I passed the classes. Him and the guy from Duck Dynasty. It could have been Terry Bradshaw first string, Duck Dynasty second string, and Steeler Freak third string. Could have been
Steeler Freak in the stand smoking Terry Bongshaw.
Get Ahead of says this. Brisker did say he was suspended from high school just before a high school game. And he was supposed to play at Heinz. So that is interesting.
So he had the chance, but
yeah, I don't feel that anymore. No,
fuck that guy.
Good for him. Hopefully he has a great time here. Hopefully
I can't wait.
I can't wait, Mike. I also am very excited about it. Hopefully he has a good career here. Jamal, my man, what's going on, dude? Always great seeing Jamal on a terrible board. How you doing, brother? Great seeing you as always. Let's scoot up to Tortilla, rookie quarterback. Gonna have to wear 21 next year. Let's go to Steel Loyal. We have 8 when A-Rod leaves. He could have 8 when A-Rod leaves. Also, Tortilla says he'll be here until he's 50. Hey, you know what? If there's not a good quarterback in the draft for the next 7 years, he might be.
They're like fucking Roger Staubach. Just keep bringing him back.
Yeah. And then no 1982. Steeler Freak says, let me grab Ronald Albright real quick. He says, you two are absolutely correct. 40 times are irrelevant. Steve Largent. Steve, absolutely. Seattle ran 4.89 40-yard dash, and he really sucked, didn't he? Insert sarcasm. He was one of the best. No two ways about it. Mike, a few more things. Let's see. We're kind of at that point. We're rounding third here on the show. Corn jumped in. He just wanted to say that Corn sucks. So we were gonna just let Corn know that we're gonna read that for him. Mike, he says, Corn is ass. Corn 1999 is ass. Is what's said by Corn 1999. Welcome to the show as always, Mike. Couple more things that I do want to touch on real quick. We did talk about Slay. He did retire. Mike, Darius Slay threw in the towel. He hung it up. No surprise, Mike. He really was playing like he was at the end of his road.
Yeah,
quite a few years. I don't know 13 years in the league. He had a career. Just didn't look great, Mike. I think what happened with Slay, it seemed like he's seen a lot going on in this Pittsburgh defense. He knew that he was putting a lot of attention into the secondary, and he probably figured, you know what, package me in with all these other guys, and I'll do just fine. It didn't work out that way. The guy still had to play the game at the end of the day. He just didn't have it the same as he did 10 years ago in his career. Slay is retiring, Mike. That is happening. Also, last thing I do want to say before we start rounding third on this, Mike, PFF. We talked about the grades the other day, about free agency grades for every team in the league. PFF, Mike, they are giving the Steelers a B+. A B+. That's from PFF. I'm sure Cleveland has an immaculate grade just because that's what the PFF does. PFF gave us a B+. Mike, with that being said, has anything happened in the AFC North that worries you moving forward this off season?
I kind of like what the Browns did with their offensive line. That they've lost, I think, literally their entire offensive line to free agency, and they brought in pieces. They brought in guys that I kind of wish we would have been able to scoop up. But overall, though, their team really doesn't scare me. But I like what they did there. If they had a competent owner, a competent GM, a competent coaching staff, that would make me worry. But no, I just like what they did there. What the Ravens have done does not scare me at all. At all. Like they lost everyone. The guy they brought in, they kicked down the road because they need that draft pick. But
And as far as
what did Cincinnati do? What did Cincinnati do?
They did nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so
they had to just give us Joe Burrow for free, and we'll all go on with our lives.
Exactly, because I'm being serious. I'm not yeah.
I thought of this the other day, Mike,
because
of Tater Tart, and unfortunately he hasn't been here. Today is St. Patrick's Day. I'm very not just shocked, but shocked and hurt I am. Like Tater Tart, he made me think this. The AFC division breaks down like this. The Steelers, we look at the Ravens as, you know what, these guys, all right, say we're four brothers. The Steelers and the Ravens are the two oldest brothers. The Steelers being the oldest, obviously, they've been around forever, but they have a lot of respect for that next brother down. They fight a lot. They go head-to-head a lot. They gets dirty sometimes, but they've gone through those battles with one another to where there's a certain respect between the two. Now, the Bengals, they kind of know how the big boys play. Mm-hmm. They kind of know how the older brothers play, but they still have too many genes of whichever parent is responsible for the Browns. So even though they know enough and they know how to get good, and they do get good from time to time, they don't have it inside the toughness like the Steelers and the Ravens. They're the third brother, Mike, and again, they're kind of caught between the little brother who's the Browns and the big brothers. So he never exactly gets good, or he's never terrible. So the Bengals kind of linger in the middle. Now the Browns, they are the little brother who can't do anything right. He wants to be good. He just can't duplicate what his older brothers does. He's just clumsy. He's stupid. And again, he's always just going to be that little brother. He's going to run his mouth like to pretend that he's good and to the older brothers. But at the end of the day, when you break it down, it might the two big brothers, the junior and the senior, basically are the Steelers and the Ravens. The Bengals are like a high junior high, and then the Browns are like a team that just cracked in the junior high. Again, just kind of like the babies of the group. They never do anything. No. But that's kind of like I was going to explain that in depth to Tater Tart today, but unfortunately I don't see him. And we do have something for him, and I'm not going to waste it, Mike. If he's not around, we're still going to we're going to have fun. It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm not going to let Tater Tart ruin my day.
Exactly.
We
cannot.
It's not going to happen. We're not going to let a Brown fan ruin our day. We're going to enjoy it. Let's do stay on the board here for a couple more. Steel Loyal says they overpaid a dude named Boy. That's it.
Boye Mafe, yeah. Boye. Yeah, I'm looking at like the guys that they brought in. Like, the best one, it would be the safety Brian Cook. But what's he going to do outside of that defensive system that they have down with Steve Spagnuolo? It just doesn't impress me.
Mike, which of the three coaches are you more? Of course, you're obviously excited about our coach, but as far as what Cleveland and what Baltimore are doing, Mike, any opinions on the new coaches going on in those two cities?
I don't like the hire of either of them. Like, for those teams, if I was a fan of those teams, I don't like them at all. I love them for us,
right?
Because I think they were bad hires. I think they were idiotic moves, man. So I'm loving it.
Just didn't match up with those teams. I agree. Cody says, I don't want to look at that face while watching TV. Quick, somebody put a towel over his head. Somebody put him in the restroom. I don't want this face looking at that face when he's throwing my dice. Robert Kirkpatrick, what's up, man? Always great seeing Robert Kirkpatrick. He says, what do the Yinzers think of pick number 21 being wide receiver Tyson or Cooper, assuming AR 8 plays? Listen, I am all aboard getting the best possible wide receiver. I'm all aboard. But to me, the way it's playing out, it seems like it would be more logical for the Steelers to get that highest pick on that offensive line, like whether it be the guard, the tackle, and then come back around, bring the wagon around in the second round and grab the best possible, most talented wide receiver at that point. To me, that's just kind of how it makes sense. I could be wrong. I could be way off. But Mike, if you want to go ahead and address that as well with Robert.
Right now, I'm leaning towards the guard from Penn State, excuse me. But I am in love with Omar Cooper Jr.
If know.
He's there, I have no problem taking Cooper Jr. in the first round. Then in the second rounds, getting someone like Dunker or I gotta look up his name because I'm going to mispronounce it. The guard from Texas A&M, Chase Bizantis, or Pregnon from Oregon. So they have options. Like if they really want to get a receiver and think Omar is the guy there, go ahead and grab him and then get your guard in the second round. There should be 2 or 3 guys hopefully available there, but I don't want to wait outside of the first or second round to get to fill that left guard position.
I think it's going to be that early. I think it's going to be 1 and 2 rounds, 1 and 2, just depending on which way.
Again, depending on the order, as long as they're good players, I'm not going to care about the order.
That's where I'm at as well. Steel Loyal says Brian Cook is going to get cooked. Also, I do want to say what's up to Doc. Doc says, please draft the guard in the first round. Welcome to the show, Doc. Welcome to the Terrible Board.
Brother.
Great message. Let's also go to see what Robert is saying here. Mike Robert Albright is saying, the Steelers need offensive line help. Then again, my username here, Robert Albright, is my name, but the 3147 refers to my ex-girlfriend's weight. He says that's a big bitch.
A big bitch.
She would be a great left guard. Give her a call, Robert. Hey, if you don't want to call her, I'll give her a call, and then we'll get her on this. We'll get her out on that practice field and see what we could do. You know what? Pretty good comment as well there. Jelly Donut, I want to say welcome to the show. He says, whoa, they call it Sixburg for a reason. Corn, back the F up is what he's saying. I think that's the way I read it. At least Mark Malone says Pregnon or Dunker would be big time Cody. Cody says Bengals got rid of Geno Stone. That was their splash move. And you know what? Geno Stone was not far behind Patrick Queen for missed tackles, as I believe he was a top 5 missed tackled player. I know that he wasn't getting in the way of Darnell Washington, Mike.
Fuck no. Business decision was made on that play.
Yes, and you know what? Geno Stone, just from right up the highway here, Mike, from Newcastle, I wish him well. Nowhere in our division. Go somewhere else, do well. He was at the Ravens first, then in Cincy. So good luck to Geno. Again, just stay out of our way. We'll have to send Darnell after you again. Mike, let's get ready. You know what? We'll get ready for the draft, or we'll get ready for the trivia question of the day.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
Excuse me, everyone. The2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. Over there, we have all of our social media for Ryan and I and for the show. We got my dumb thoughts. We got RB's mock drafts and some articles about some sleepers posted over there. I have an article up about what we've done in free agency so far. So check it out, man, at the2dumyinzers.com, and the link is right there.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of cool stuff over at the 2Dumb Yinzers website. Everybody, www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. As Mike said, lots of cool things. He has updated it. He's got his mock draft. Again, the new crew, the draft crew. Again, RB by earlier on the show today. Him chop a lot of articles up on the new website. Go check it out. A lot of cool things, guys. Let me go grab a couple more of these messages, Mike, and we are going to get to the trivia question of the day. This trivia question is draft related, as we, Mike, are on the countdown. Only 37 days from the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's going to be here before you know it. Let's go to Get Ahead. Get Ahead says this: 317 pounds. Sound like she could be drafted as a guard. We'll take a look at this point. Come on, man. Get Ahead. Killing it today. Killing it on the board. Somber says this: Saints announced they agreed to terms with running back Ty Chandler. So it's Mike. It's still free agency. You know, don't put your guards down. But as far as the
Steelers seem to pick a guard up.
Yeah. Let's go to Jelly Donut. Jelly Donut says this. I know you guys are talking about the draft, but what are both your thoughts on the quarterback? I hear both sides about Rodgers versus Will Howard. Let me get through these next couple of messages,
Yeah.
Mike. We'll jump on that.
Yeah.
Go to Christopher. Christopher's my man. He says this. We haven't signed a guard, so we are going to draft a guard with Erfurt. That's kind of what I'm thinking too, Christopher. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Ronald Albright says this. He says trade down with Kansas City. They get 21 and 53. We get 27 and 47. At 27, we take Omar Cooper, and then at 40, we take the Oregon guard. Somber says, good.
That scares me trading down that far in the first round.
Somber says, yes, mock draft mojo. And Jelly Donut says this, you guys are attending the draft. I'm from Pittsburgh, currently living in Michigan. Should be amazing time down in the Three Rivers. It was crazy packed in Detroit. I can imagine it. And yes, we will be down there, man. If you come down, a bunch of people are coming in from the show and the board. We'll all have to get together. It's going to be a blast. Christopher says Omar Khan and Chris Brassel would be great.
Omar Cooper.
What did I say?
Omar Khan.
I assume you know what I'm talking about, right? Let's go to this question right here. Mike, the Jelly Donut question asks us this. I know you guys are talking about the draft. I think that it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. And again, as RB did say when he was on earlier, Mike, I think that things are, again, it might be a secret to us, but within the organization, within the people that know what's going on, I'm sure they already have an idea. They already know what's going on. It's a multi-million-dollar business. It's kind of a big thing, this NFL thing, to have one guy leading on a franchise like that. I think would just be insane overall. But I think ultimately it's going to be Aaron Rodgers this year. Again, I think it's just going to give us more of an opportunity to build this team. That way, when we are able to get that quarterback, whether it be Will, whether it be something coming out of the draft next year, whatever it is, we're going to want to be able to just to plug and play and have everything in place. So again, I'm not against having Aaron here. I think he was serviceable enough last year, threw 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Get him some extra receivers this year. Get some extra help on the line. I think the floor is a 9 or 10 win season. So I'm okay with that. If he's our quarterback, I'm okay with it. Will Howard, we got to get a chance to see this kid play out his rookie season, including the preseason camp with the broken hand. We never got a chance to see this guy take a snap in a Steelers helmet. That's got to come. You got to crawl before you walk. So before anything that we could figure out or want with Will Howard, I think it's going to be a process just because the guy literally never has taken a snap yet. Me personally, I think Aaron Rodgers is back this year, one more year, and again, it gives us a little bit more of an opportunity to solidify the team, new coaching staff, new linemen, new skill players, another year together, grab that player in the draft possibly next year, will competition, whatever the case may be. I do believe this will be Aaron Rodgers. I don't love it. However, I think his brain, his vision, his sight, the things he knows, the things that are between his ears are the things that make him most valuable, on top of having not that bad of an arm for a 43-year-old guy. I do believe he will be the quarterback this year.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think he'll be the guy. I'm not opposed with running it with Will Howard. I'm not a big Will Howard guy, but it's a win-win. Like I've been saying for weeks now. If you start Will Howard, worst case scenario, sweet, we're picking high. Best case scenario, you find out you find out he is a guy, and you then you're off and running to the races. But I really do think it's going to be Rodgers. And you know what? Excuse me. The owner wants to compete. Wants to be Rooney competitive, as it's been termed here on the show. And, Aaron Rodgers gives you the best bet to be Rooney competitive. So I think that's why he's going to be the starter.
There you go. All right, guys, put on your thinking caps. Mike, you put on your thinking cap. It is time. It is time to get into the question of the day. This is going to be a draft question, Mike, because we're only 37 days away until the NFL draft comes right here to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Going to be a lot of people. They're expecting upwards almost 800,000 people, Mike, as it's inching closer to the million mark. I know early on it was 500,000 people they were talking. Then it's 700,000. Now it's 800,000. There's no reason to think that number's not going to be up to 1 million. Being jam-packed into the point, into the North Shore, but 37 days away, they're gonna make it happen one way or another, Mike. We will be there for everything. Somber says, I've been out on Brazil since December. Steeler Freak says Howard makes fan makes fan sense. Rogers makes Rooney sense. I like that. And then one more. Let me grab Robert here real quick. Robert says, my thoughts is that AR8 will be at the draft in the Berg as a signed Pittsburgh Steeler. That will be his public announcement day. That's not a bad, that could very well be. Guys, let's get to the trivia question today. This is a draft trivia question, Mike. Everybody put on their thinking caps. Here we go. This is the question of the day. Since 1967, only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have done this. Since 1967, only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have done this. Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the tube.
On tube.
So the question of the day, if you got a guess, if you think you know it, guys, the question is this. Since 1967, every year that the Super Bowl has been a thing, we're talking about the drafts from those years, 60 years. And since 1967, only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have done this. On the tube, Somber says, dude says back-to-back Super Bowl wins. Steeler Freak says slept with Aunt Peaches. Not a bad not a bad guess either. I guess that's always a possibility.
She gets around.
Mike, what is your thought process?
I'm gonna say made an NFL roster.
Made an NFL roster. Is this your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, let me lock you in, Mike. All right, you were locked in on the made an NFL roster. Again, the question of the day is this. Since 1967, only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have done this. Mike says made the roster. Tortilla says only 14 Mr. Irrelevants went to Epstein's Island. Also, Get Ahead of says made Pro Bowls. Made Pro Bowls.
That's a good answer.
Started for the NFL season. Jelly Donut says this. Guys, a lot of good answers on the board. We'll take just another moment or so and we will reveal it. Again, the question of the day is this. Since 1967, in the Super Bowl era, in the drafts, only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have done this. Mike says made an NFL roster. A few different answers on the board. Throw it up there if you think that you know it, guys. Giving that answer in just a moment. Mike, while we're waiting on that, I do want to say that the 2026 Pitt Blue Gold game coming up this spring at Acrisure Stadium is going to be closed to public this year due to the preparations for the draft taking place in and around the stadium. I do know that they're replacing a bunch of seats and things like such. So at the end of the day, that is what's going to be happening there. So if you're hoping to get down to see the Pitt Panthers play their Blue Gold game, there will be no fans this year, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's go to the question of the day. Let's go to this. Here we go. Since 1967, only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have done this. Played a full season, Steeler Freak is saying. Played a full season, not a bad guess. Also, Mike, I'm seeing people say started for the NFL, started the NFL season, played for a whole season. Jelly Donut and John say that. Also made Pro Bowls. Get Ahead of said this. Been to Epstein's Island. Tortilla might be onto something. Guys, back-to-back Super Bowl wins was Dude. Slept with Aunt Peaches was John. Mike, and again, the question of the day, and then we're going to reveal the answer. Ronald Albright says only 14 Mr. Irrelevants actually participated in that dumb parade. Guys, here we go. Question of the day. Since 1967, only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have done this. The answer is, guys, appeared in a regular season game. Appeared in a regular season game. Only 14 Mr. Irrelevants have appeared in a regular season NFL game since 1967. So there you go. Great job, guys. Great job to everybody. Jelly Donut, tell him. Jelly Donut,
get on him. Get on him. I already banned him.
Get his ass. Let's jump him. That was, of course, a line from Friday. I don't want to go jump the guy, but let's jump. Let's jump him. Let's see. Hedda says, wow. Jelly Donut says, oh, wow. Pierre didn't even start. And Richard, my man, always great seeing
What
Richard
up?
Jankowski on the board. He said started. Guys, so there you go. That is the question of the day. Great job. Mike, I was kind of disappointed. And maybe he is here. Listen, that weirdo, Tater Tart, who's here every single day, just so happens to not be here on St. Patrick's Day. And I'm not going to ruin the surprise.
No.
I promised everybody a surprise. And you know what? I'm not going to let this retard from Ireland who likes the Cleveland Browns ruin my day. We did put together, guys, you know, that we do have the in-house AI band that puts together a lot of cool songs for us, Mike. And I think what we're going to do is we'll wrap up and we will play this song that it was a special song. Again, St. Patrick's Day. It was a perfect opportunity. I think you're going to like it, everybody. So let's kind of wrap up what we're doing, and we will out on the song, like the surprise. Again, Tater Tot's trying to ruin another thing for us. It's not going to happen. Mike, we're going to get it out. Let me just say a couple things before we do get ready to do that, though. I do want to say this. I want to say this. I want to say, guys, if you are going to be getting ready to get into football as you do all the time, and Mike, we only have like another week till the UFL. A lot of things going on this off season, guys. Football season never truly ends. And at the end of the day, if you want to enjoy a little drink with it, do stop by and grab yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, guys. Duquesne Pilsner, the people over there are great to us as far as all the promotional things that they do. And again, Mike, you could get Duquesne Pilsner in 6-packs and 12-packs now at Giant Eagle. And then you could also get the cases wherever the cases are sold. But do check them out. Maybe you're not a drinker. If you're not, swing by their social media, show them some love. But if you are just trying to take the buzz off or get your buzz on to take the edge off, there's so much going on in free agency. And again, this countdown all the way to 37 days from now, the draft. Do stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. We always have it on tap here. Delicious beer, Mike, made right here in Pittsburgh. And it says right on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Jelly Donut says Tater likes to live in misery. Also, and his mom's basement, apparently. Lightning Rod says this: discover Raccoon City, nestled in the beautiful Arklay Mountain region. Raccoon City offers something for everyone. Getameta says this. Getameta says so undrafted free agents have done better than the last draft picks of the draft.
Which is wild.
Man. Also, I do want to say these other things, Mike. Do check our social media out. If you want to keep up with what the two Dum Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis, do go check us out. Hit the follow button over on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button. Keep up with what's going on. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below, guys. The like button, the sub, the share, comment, anything. It all helps out in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Mike, and again, we are going to be busting this song out. Do stick around, guys, for an extra 5 minutes or 5 minutes from now or so. Once we go off, we are going to put this on, Mike. And again, I wanted to do this so we could have all laughed at Tater Tart while he was here. But you know what? We'll keep doing it every time he comes on, and we'll laugh at him every time.
You know what? That works for me, brother.
Let's see. I do also want to say, Mike, what's your thoughts today? RB, big show. The draft is officially started. The coverage right here on our show, Mike, just 37 days away. What's your thoughts on today's show? Everything we talked about.
Yeah, again, good show. I do like how we have positional flexibility in the first round.
Yeah.
I still think the top three positions should be either wide receiver, left guard, left tackle. Like whichever one is the best player amongst them sitting there, you take them. You know, if the left guard's the better of the three, get the left guard. If the receiver, get the receivers. Tackle, get the tackle. It should be that simple in the first round for the Steelers. And you know, as RB is saying, there are guys that if we miss them in the first round, they'll be right there in the second and third round too, depending on the position. So Steelers. Today we found out they have a lot of positional flexibility, and man, we're inching closer to the draft, baby. I can't wait.
We're inching, baby. We're inching. I do want to say this, guys. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. I also want to say thank you, everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show. You are the lifeblood of the show. I always say it. I always mean it. You rock. board, everybody at home as well. If you're in the car, at the gym, maybe at work, listening, watching the show, even maybe on your big screen TV, guys, thank you too. I'm going to grab a couple more of these messages, Mike, and we are going to bust out the the big surprise again. I don't feel bad for Tater Tart. I wish he would have been here because it's for him. But at the end of the day, we're not going to not have fun. We're not going to not do our thing because of a Browns fan. Let's see. Joe says this: Large was drafted in 1976. Times weren't publicly listed, and the corners weren't great either. The best of all times was Mike Haynes, and Largent was bound to succeed no matter what his 40 was. Get ahead of thank you, sir. As always, great show as always, guys. We appreciate that. And Somber, bust out the big surprise. Hey-o! That's right. The big surprise is coming right around the corner. It's peeking around the corner. Mike, I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
am I forgetting anything?
No, I think we covered every fucking topic, man. And then some.
All right, we'll be back at our regular time tomorrow.
Yeah.
What if Tater is the surprise? We've been in the work. We've been deep cover to get him over across the pond, and in 2 seconds he's gonna pop up in Mike's screen. No, that's not gonna happen. Fortunately, because of his PFA, obviously he's not allowed in the States. But guys, I do want to say, Mike, just for you, last thing, anything else? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Great show, man. Can't we do this again tomorrow?
I think we could do it again tomorrow. We will be back at our regular time to do it all over again for Hump Day tomorrow. So guys, do enjoy what we did have prepared. Again, I'm not going to let Tater ruin it for us.
No.
So enjoy this, guys. I want to say and again, thank you, RB. You the man. So much insight. Cannot wait to continue forward with you and Chop as well. A lot coming up in these next 37 days and beyond that for the new guys as well. So it was a lot of fun with him. Also, I do want to say this. I want to say thank you. I also want to say for Finch, for Derpy, for RB, for Chop, for Mike, myself. Everybody have a great day. Do stick around for an extra 3 minutes. We do have a little surprise against shame on the Tard for not being here to enjoy. It was for him. But again, here you go, guys. This is a little St. Patty's Day surprise for Tater Tard. Enjoy. Have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll see everybody this time tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Under a dog, ginger fringe, under a dog pound cap, shamrock socks, brown jersey, all that. Screaming Steelers stink at the flat screen stand in his mom's damn basement with a beer in his hand. He's got a PFA frame right there on the wall, says it's just a guideline, barely law at all. Calls every lad a numpty, every ref a cheat, but he still hits play when the Yinzers drop a tweet. Oh, Tater Tard, you plastic brown, painted helmet, secret towel. That leprechaun ain't tricking anyone. We see your colors when the game is done. Oh, Tater Tard, you shout and roar. Hate the Steelers, can't stand them, swear. But you're singing along with those two Dum Yinzers like a closet fan in orange underwear. Caught you there. He bans your mama jokes from the whole damn chat. Says keep me safe, did mother out of all that. But chirps all night at Pittsburgh fans online till the judge won't stay away on the dotted line. He tattoos dog above his pale we need, but his search bar's filled with black and gold history. When the Browns get buried and the scoreboards bleed, he's watching highlight reels that he doesn't need. Sure you don't! Oh, Tater Tard, you plastic brown, painted helmet, secret towel. That leprechaun ain't tricking anyone. We see your colors when the pints are done. Oh, Tater, swear, what truth is clear. You boo the Steelers, then lend an ear to those two Dum Yinzers every Monday night with your volume low and your screen real bright. Sneaky shite. My shelf's down. the Steelers run. Oh, Tater Tar, just make your call. You can't hate a team and still watch it all. You're a ginger lad from the edge of the map with a Browns tattoo and a Steelers app. You daft agent. So raise your glass for the numpty king. Halftime heckles, full-time fling. Tater Tar, someday you'll understand. You're an Irish lad and a Steelers fan.